Okay, beautiful people, beautiful people. Happy Sunday and hope you all are doing okay. Yeah, those of you coming in, feel free to let us know where you're connecting from. We're about to have a beautiful discussion. When you join, let us know where you're connecting from so we can give you a special shout out. Yeah, those of you coming, do your best to share to as many people as possible so we have a good number of people watching. Do your best to share and equally let us know as you come in, you let us know where you're watching from. Like you already know, it is our tradition here to actually salute you in a special way. Those of you who are faithful viewers, those of you who are faithful queens and kings and wonderful people who've always been there, it's our tradition to salute you in a special way. So do your best to drop your comments so we can give you a special Sunday greeting and let us know where you're watching from. Oh, Gong Shanta, a queen with quality. Greetings to you. Hope you are doing okay. Please, as you come in, you share, you come in, you share, you come in, you share. Come in, you share so we have a good number of people joining us for today's broadcast. It's actually a very, very wonderful conversation we're about to have, and it's a complex one as well because we'll be talking about two very, very complex, two very, very complex things. As you come in, you share, you let us know where you're watching us from. When you come in, you share and you let us know where you're watching us from. And oh, Severin, I see you. Hope you're doing okay. Please do your best to share, so we have a good number of people watching. Do your best to share, so we have a good number of people watching. How are you doing, Severin? And do let us know where you're watching us from. Do your best to share. Share to a good number of people so we have a good number watching before we dive deep into our topic. Yeah, keep sharing. When you come in, you let us know where you're watching from, and so that we can give you a special shout out. And mobilization people, are you there? Maybe we could do some live mobilization. Those of you who want us to do live mobilization, just let us know in the comment section, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it right away. Those of you who want us to do some live mobilization, let us know in the comment section, and we're going to do it right away. For now, keep sharing to as many people as possible. So we have a good number of people watching. Keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing, keep sharing to as many people as possible. We have Maristella Kinji. Good evening to you. Hope you're doing okay. Safa Silverin, hope you're doing okay. Victoria Shaviva, hope you're doing okay. Mary Stella, thanks so much. Thanks so much. Victoria Shaviva, happy Sunday to you. We have Ngando Anna. Ngando Anna, hope you're doing okay. Hi, and hope you're doing okay. Oh, Stella Kinje from Kumbu. That's wonderful. Hope Kumbu is smooth today and hope you're doing okay. Stella Kinje. We equally have Ngando Anna. Yeah, share. Langai Brandy. Good evening. Hope you're doing okay. Please share to as many people as possible. So we have a good number of you watching. Today we're going to be having a very complex and interesting topic at the same time. It's very complex and it's very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting one. So do your best to share to as many people as possible. So we have a good number of people watching. Share. Oh, Ngando Anna watching from Yaoundé. All right, glad to have you. Hope Yaoundé is okay today. We equally have Hida Jiso. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're doing okay. Happy Sunday, Brandy. Hope you're doing okay. Keep sharing to as many people as possible. Keep sharing. Keep sharing to as many people as possible so we can have this conversation. Keep sharing. Once we get to 10, we're going to actually jump into the topic. We're still at 5. You guys can do better. Keep sharing and tag friends. Invite friends to come and keep sharing. Keep sharing. Mary Stella Kinji, drop your Momo in my inbox. You can drop me in the comment section. Lengai Brandy, drop your Momo in my comment section or maybe in my inbox. You can either drop it in my inbox or drop in the comment section. It depends on you. Victoria Shaviva, drop your Momo in my inbox or comment section. Now keep sharing. Keep sharing so we have a good number of people watching. We're going to be doing this live and it's going to be very interesting. Keep sharing. All right. We have today is one of those days where we're going to be having, like you all know, it is our regular Sunday Jangi. My name is Wiko and I'm an anchor man, and I'll be here with you for the live edition of your favorite Sunday show. Yeah, keep sharing. Share to as many people as possible. And today we're having a very striking topic that needs to be handled with much caution. And we got some amazing people that will be with us. Amazing gentlemen and equally ladies. Yeah, amazing gentlemen and ladies. Keep sharing. Flatina, I see you. Hidden Jisoo, drop your Momo either inbox or in the comment section. It depends on you. Now keep sharing. Everyone, when I mention your name, you just drop it in the. You just drop your Momo in the comment section or in my inbox. You can send it to my inbox. You see, you can send Momo to my inbox. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, today is that wonderful day where we're going to be having a wonderful conversation. And this conversation is very complex and insightful at the same time because it's one of those core values of the cultures that we're from. I'm talking about the black skinned people, and it's a culture that has been bullied at the same time, and it's equally something that is causing a lot of puzzle because we're trying to do otherwise at the same time we find ourselves doing it illegally. Now, today we'll be talking about polygamy versus infidelity. One school of thought believes that men are polygamous by nature. Another school of thought believes that you decide to be polygamous or not. And another school of thought has it that men are not polygamous by nature, but some people have chosen to be that way. Now, today we're going to be having this very smooth conversation so that we handle some very striking aspects about these different concepts polygamy, infidelity, and let's get to exchange ideas so we can learn. Those of you watching from wherever you're watching us from, you could actually share your ideas in the comment section because we are actually going to be having a lot to talk about. I see somebody saying polygamy. Hope Chef is coming live. Don't bother. You will see the guest. Chef will be live with us. Let me let you all know already. Shelatan, I see you. Shelatan, I see you. Shalom Pelagie, I see you. Gala Asonda, voila, Asonda, I see you and glad to have you on board. Shalom, please keep sharing and invite people as many people as possible. Let's have this conversation on WhatsApp, Facebook, Messenger, wherever you can invite people, just invite. And like I was saying, it's that topic that is very, very striking and intriguing at the same time. Now, I'm not going to be talking about this alone. We have some able and equipped gentlemen that are already backstage. And I think I'm not going to waste a lot of your time because today I don't intend for us to actually go live for a very long time. I myself, if you see the way I'm talking, I'm coming from a shoot. So I am having 2%, 2% of my energy reserved for this. So I'm going to be introduced. We're going to bring to you one of a very insightful person, the person that has been with us. And each time it comes to that days when it's not live, I see a lot of people commenting, "Bring Son of Light, bring Son of Light, bring Son of Light." Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Son of Light. Hi, Son of Light. Hope you're doing okay today.
Hi, thank you so much, Mr. Winkle.
Wow, so glad to have you. You look all glorious.
Uh, God, it's what your God has.
Don't be lying, don't be lying. So we will not be having this conversation just the two of us. We have here. I know all of you are waiting when you see polygamy. So when I hear then the wait, when I why yeah, when I the early wait for here now, chef. Ladies and gentlemen, one of your favorites still, Chef Daway. He's been, you already know Otin now. Do I need to introduce Chef Daway again? You guys already know that.
They already know. Son of life, long time, Baba.
Thank you
Good to
so
see
much,
you.
Mr. Chef Dawai. Thank you so much. Greetings.
Yeah. You already know Chef that we know.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
You already know.
Wow,
Yeah,
wow.
good
Glad to have you,
evening,
Chef.
good evening, viewers.
That network will
Yeah.
respect itself today. Oh. That network must respect itself at all costs.
I'm not
Yeah, glad to have you, Chef.
like this.
Yeah, no problem.
You
But
get for respect yourself.
yes, by
Give for
all
more
means.
respect yourself. Because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
didn't got to get for no, so they get for
Yeah, for sure. All right. Like I was saying before adding each the panelists here, see here, we are having this conversation because it is quite very important to actually enlighten us on certain things as far as topics like this are concerned. Now, Son of Light, today we said we're going to come live to talk about polygamy versus infidelity. We have talked about polygamy before, but today I really want us to have a deeper insight of the whole concept of polygamy because in the course of the week we had a conversation, and the conversation was quite striking because to an extent, when you see a lot of us talking about polygamy, a lot of us are from polygamous homes, but we have not successfully understood the concept of polygamy. To be very frank and candid, if some people practice polygamy as a form of marriage and succeeded, and almost everybody is complaining about polygamy today, it means we might not have understood the concept of polygamy. And now, this is why we need to actually elaborate more. I would prefer for anybody to make their choice after knowing each and every aspect of anything which they want to know. When you know monogamy, you understand monogamy. When you know polygamy, you understand polygamy. Then you choose based on what you want. I don't fall among the category of people that will just sit and categorically come and say this thing is not bad, this thing is not good, this thing is good, this thing, without actually detailing going into it. That's why I don't fall among that category, and that's why I really want us to have this conversation so that all of us have a reasoning and a clearer understanding. Most times when people want to talk about polygamy, they're actually talking about the negative aspects and attributing polygamy to every kind of negativity. But I don't actually go in line with that because there are equally happy homes that are there are happy homes that are practicing polygamy. You see, now we've been talking about polygamy. My son of like, please, can you help with a definition of polygamy so we have the
The
foundation?
voice is clear.
Okay,
Can't see
thank
him.
you so much, Wincom. And
Yeah,
I want to first and foremost say thank you for inviting me to this live. And I think we have to talk about polygamy versus infidelity. Now, it will be necessary for us to first and foremost define these two terms,
yeah, all right.
polygamy and infidelity.
Oh yes,
On one hand, polygamy simply means being in multiple relationships at the same time, which means poly. Poly means plural, two, three, four. Now, inside of polygamy, we have other two types. We have
yeah,
polygyny and we have polyandry. Now,
yeah,
polygyny has to do with a man having many wives or a
yeah,
man having many women.
yeah,
And polyandry has to do with a woman having multiple men at the same time. On
yeah,
the other side, we have infidelity.
yeah,
Infidelity means not being loyal to your partner in a particular marital relationship. That is
yeah,
infidelity, straightforward. Now,
yeah,
in a situation where we find ourselves between polygamy and infidelity, because the topic looks like there are some particular people that are for polygamy and there are some particular people that are for infidelity. Now,
yeah,
infidelity is actually wrong.
yeah.
The moral sense of it is actually wrong. Ethically, it is not correct. Let us establish that. I believe this is a very crucial topic, and if we are going to be handling that,
Yeah,
we are going to be very, very truthful about it. Those in the comment section might get certain concepts wrong. Some of them might get angry. Some, I don't know. Some might say that no, these things these people are saying is not actually right. But truth has no friend and truth
yeah,
has no enemy. Truth is truth. So we just have to define it the way it is. So let us put
Mm.
it in the African context. I don't know whether you have something to say or should I continue? Should I continue?
you can ride on. I think Chef Dawe has network issues, so we're just hoping when he
I
balances up.
I can hear you guys. I can hear you guys. I don't know if you're hearing me.
Okay,
Okay, I hear you 5 on 5.
okay.
Yeah.
First, first and foremost, if we have to continue, we are going to be basing our discussion on context. Truth
Yeah,
does not exist in space. For something to be true, it has to be applied on a set of rules and in a set of people. Let's put it like that. So I believe in our discourse, we're going to be talking about polygamy, infidelity in the African context so that we can have a clearer understanding. Now, today, a while ago, I was talking with a friend on WhatsApp and she asked me, she said, she's in Douala and she made a statement. She said, Imagine you come to Douala and you come and discover that your kid's sister is into some sort of prostitution. And I said, no, I don't think it's going to happen. Anyway, we're going to change the narrative. Then I started reflecting. What made these girls to get into prostitution? What happened? How was the situation before? And how is it now? Because if we have to be talking on context, we need to first and foremost establish what was the situation in the past and what is
Yeah.
the situation now. Because truth does not accept civilization.
Yeah.
Truth does not accept civilization, which means if it is true, it is true. We don't modernize truth. But nowadays, you see that we have a situation where people constitute truth based on authority, or people constitute truth based on popularity. These are all wrong ways of looking at truth. So, polygamy in the African context means an African man engaging into multiple affairs, taking them as wives, not as concubines. Why? You marry them. Now, the situation in the past is a little bit different from now because we had
Yeah.
infiltration. Infiltrators, we had intruders that came in and they distorted the function of the ecosystem. When I talk about the ecosystem, I mean where we are as an African people. Okay,
Yeah.
today we find ourselves in a situation where a man has a woman and he has a side chick, and they are so good in carving out this name. As a matter of fact, these names, I don't know where they come from. You just come out and you see somebody say his side chick, and then you get to ask yourself a question: what is the difference between a side chick and a wife? And you discover that the side chick is another woman of his, but he doesn't want to accept responsibilities of bringing the woman as his wife. That's where the problem comes in. Now he is into infidelity vis-a-vis the wife. But if he
Mm-hmm.
accepts to bring this woman home as a responsibility, as a wife, this is where we say he is polygamous. Now there is something that is stopping most African men into getting into polygamy. The simple reason because all of these concepts are interwoven. These concepts are interwoven. You find a man. I was telling a friend the other day. He has a wife and he has another girlfriend outside. And I told him, "Why did you get married to them?" And he said he is unable to take care of two women at the same time. The responsibilities is huge. If you know that the responsibilities are huge, why do you go into it? Why do you discipline yourself? Why do you also go outside? So we find
Yeah.
ourselves in a situation in Africa where there are some men that want to practice polygamy, but because of the economy, they are unable to proceed. So they have to engage into infidelity. Infidelity on his other part is completely wrong. I don't know whether Chef Dawai has something to say before we can continue.
All right, Chef Dawai, glad to have you on board. Please, could you throw us more light on the concept of polygamy? What is polygamy to you?
Polygamy is actually an appellation, a name the serpents came to. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Chef Dawai.
Okay, why come you're muted? It's an appellation, just like marriage, right? We have the institution of marriage, and they had to come and start defining things like monogamy, polygamy. But back then, we only had marriage. You just get married. You could get married to one wife. You could get married to as many as five. It all depends to your status, like your the level of your resources, where you how far you can go to take care of your family. So all these appellations, all these differences, they only came to exist because some people had to alter the original in order to bring in other things. So it
Yeah.
was the first step. it was actually the first step to the overall distortion. Yeah, so they had to create, start giving names to the natural lifestyle they found here in Africa. Um, for them, it's okay for a man to stay with one woman and for them to do whatever.
Hmm. The network is interesting.
Okay, I think let me pick from there before he comes in to join. So from what he was saying, Chef Dawei, can you hear us?
Um,
Is it a
Yeah,
network?
yeah, it should be the network. His
can
network
you
is not
hear
the
me?
best. Yeah, we can hear you now, 505.
How this network?
We can hear
Can you hear
you.
me, guys?
Yeah, we can
Yes,
hear you. We can hear you.
Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you. I think the phone should be coming from your area.
Yeah, his network is not the best. His network is not the best, actually.
Uh, okay.
This
I think let
network.
me just.
Whatever be a wahala.
All right, son of that, I think you're right
Those are
on
people in
the.
the comments. If you can hear me, you let me know. It's horrible tonight.
Okay, we can hear you. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Son of light, I can hear you. Chef the way I
Okay.
can
So,
hear you. We
so
can all
from
hear
what
you, actually.
from what he was saying, depending on your resources, let me take
Hello?
it from.
Mm. Guys, can
So
you hear
depending.
me? The guy in the comment section. Um,
So can you hear me?
All right,
Okay.
it's okay. His network, he'll be joining back shortly. He just left. He'll be
Okay.
joining back. The network is not the
So
best. Yeah.
from from what he was saying, depending on your resources, like I said previously, and many of those men or many of those guys want to get into polygamy, but these things are interwoven. There is a kind of ripple effect because of one thing, it affects the other. Now
Yeah.
you find a situation where somebody cannot even feed himself, talkless of feeding another woman, but he can't discipline himself to stay with one woman and maintain what he has as resources to accommodate the responsibilities he has. He indulges in another program to get another woman. And sometimes it becomes a fiasco. This is where the problem is. This is where polygamy becomes an ugly engagement. It becomes an ugly situation. Because if you look in the African context, if I say, for example, most of the times in pidgin, we will say, na mamansa this, na mamansa that, na mamansa this. When you translate what is mansa into English, mansa means master. Mansa doesn't mean husband, by the way. Mansa means master. Now, if you say this particular person is your master, it means you are answerable to your master. You report to your master. You submit. You accept that we are into an institution. Can you hear me?
I can hear you 5 on 5. I can hear
Okay,
you 5 on 5.
okay. So you submit, you accept that we are in an institution and there is a head. It doesn't mean you are submitting into enslavement. It doesn't mean you are submitting into battery or assault. And on the part of the master, which is the husband, it means you have to apply justice. It means you have to listen when somebody is crying. It means you have to
Yeah.
provide. It means you have to defend. Now, if you see that you are unable to provide, you are unable to defend just one woman, what then is going to cause you to engage into polygamy? Stick with one where you can umbrella her in a wider extent so that your institution can be very credible. Marriage in the African context is an institution. A
yes.
while ago, I was saying that truth in this particular case
Connection
will depend on our
disgrace me
context.
today very badly.
Truth in this particular case will depend on our context. And if we are looking at the context of the African society, we are going to see that polygamy is a normal thing. That was how our parents lived, and they lived happily. But nowadays, when we want to report anything, we are reporting more of the negativity. Have you ever cared to ask yourself, why is it that in Africa, a man pays a dowry, or sorry, a bride price? Because dowry, let's not get into the intricacies of a dowry. Why is it in the African culture, a man pays a bride price? Why are you paying? You are paying. Why are you paying this particular money?
I ask myself that question a lot.
Okay, the reason why you are paying this particular money is because in the African context, a woman is so precious. A woman is so sacred. A woman needs a lot of attention. A woman is like yam tenderings. For those of us that are farmers, when you go to the farm, when you plant yam seedlings, when the seedlings are kind of germinating, you need to guide these particular tenderings so that let them climb in a way that it's not going to destroy itself.
Yeah.
You can take a man and throw out there into the ghetto, the man will survive. But you can't do same to a woman because a woman is so sacred. A woman needs more of attention. A woman controls the well of emotions. So anybody that controls the well of emotions, if you come to her towards emotion with emotions, you can easily conquer her. A woman does not
Yeah.
necessarily operate under pure reasoning. That is the domain of a man. So a man pays bride price in the African context because they consider that you are taking their daughter away from them. That is why most of the times when a man has a son, on rare occasions, the woman comes in the second position. Who is Wincom? Wincom is the son of a certain Mr. Wincom. Wincom, they will call Wincom's mother only at the second position. Why? They consider a man to be the head. So when a man goes out, he's, in other words, let me not use the word bind, because that is what somehow it signifies. If you go to some particular tribes, they will give their ladies at a very expensive price.
Son of light.
Yes.
If we are not using the term buying, if we say buying, the women are going to fall on somebody's head. But I don't
Okay.
like twisting. I don't like twisting certain words. If we look at
Okay.
the whole process, it looks like a commercial transaction.
Not really a commercial transaction. I will explain. I said something a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot modernize truth. Truth is truth because God is God. Truth is truth. Now, if I say bind, that doesn't necessarily mean or literally means buying in the form of, like buying. What I mean is you are transferring a certain level of ownership. The parents of the mother, they are like, okay, this girl has been with us, for a long time. She's so precious. Our culture demands that you need to give us something. Let us, as tradition would demand, because the girl doesn't do same to the man's family. The purpose of family is for procreation, for posterity. The reason why you are taking a woman to come with you is because you want the man to come and build your own institution, and you want to have children with her. So that's why if you don't pay this particular token, if you don't pay what they're asking you, they consider the marriage has not occurred. It might be surprising for you to understand that in the English culture, bride price is not considered because marriage to them is not too practical. That is why you see, as successful as how some men in the West can be, you go and count the how many number of divorce they have had, it's going to be shocking. And you ask yourself, what's happening? Why a man before he gets to 80, he has gotten married to about 4 or 5 wives? Why why don't you just get married to all these women and take care of them? If you know you have the power, there's a condition. So you come to discover that when these guys came, the very first place they started by fighting is the family, because the family is the first unit of settlement. They started by fighting the family by instructing. It's an instruction. They say no. It is a man that has to have one man, one woman. My question is, what was the wisdom of our ancestors at that time when they were getting married into 2, 3, 4, 5 girls? What was their wisdom? Their wisdom was they understood that nature gives them more of women than men. And what is happening is most of these men die at an early age. Some because of hard jobs, some because of hazardous conditions, some get into all kinds of stress. I don't know how I can put it. So they said, okay, what is going to happen is we cannot continue to see our ladies to hang aside without getting married. If you know you can take care of 2 girls, 3 girls, 4 girls, take them in. If you look at the Muslim culture, it is a culture. They are getting married to 4 women and they are succeeding. They are living long. The wisdom of our African ancestor is get married to these particular girls and take care of them. In the days of our ancestors, we never had prostitutes. We never had prostitutes. We
It
never
was a
had people.
taboo.
We never had people that will come and stand and say, I am going to see a prophet for a prophet to prophesy so that I can have a husband. What the girls were working on was their character. You work on your character, and when a man comes to get married to you, what you check is he financially stable and what is the history of his family? What happens now that most girls, some girls go to the pastors, to the prophets to go and seek for prophecy because they want to get married. What happened in the past and what changed and why are we finding ourselves in this particular situation? Now we have all the side chicks, we have all the infidelities, we have lack of understanding, we have economic problem, but still we have men that want to get into polygamy without even checking their pockets. In the West, what happens in the West is you are not allowed to marry, in places like the United States of America, you are not allowed to marry 2 women at the same time. Now the question is, you cannot get married to 2 women at the same time, but there is a way they do these things that you see that everything is coded and directed towards making of money. Why do I say this? You see, there is what they call child support. A man has a wife, and then maybe because of one thing or the other, he falls outside and maybe he impregnates another woman. That's cases of infidelity in that particular context. What happens now is if this man does not assume responsibility, this woman can pursue this man in the courts, and anything that this man is earning as salary is going to be divided, and part of it is going to be given to that child until that child gets to 18 years. I don't know whether you understand.
Child support, yeah.
Yes. So in the African context, our forefathers saw all these things and they said, we are not going to allow these girls to be loitering about. We must make sure that everybody is married. That is why, if you look at our mothers, their behavior and the behavior of girls now is like light and darkness. What happened? A certain education was introduced into the ecosystem, and because of that, the way concepts were interpreted, it makes everything to be a fiasco. I'll take, for example, there is a word called local. Local. The word local means somebody or an indigene of a particular place. But tell you that the way a word is interpreted can give it negative meaning. If you go to Dubai, if you call somebody a local, the best a local in Dubai means somebody who is from that land. If you call a Cameroonian in Dubai a local, that Cameroonian will fight you, will be happy. Why? Because in the boundaries, in the corridors of Dubai, a local means somebody who is wealthy. But in Cameroon, if you tell a guy that you are too local, it is going to be a scrum, it's going to be a fight. What am I trying to say by this? People attribute negative meanings to a particular word that was intended for positive purpose. Look at the issue of polygamy in the past. What was the motive behind? How were they doing it? How can we modernize it? How can we modify it? How can we put in justice? How can we do it in such a way that it is not going to affect us? What I'm trying to talk about. But now somebody just gets into polygamy just because he wants to get into polygamy. It is not done like that. That is why most of the times, if you look at what's happening, most men that get into polygamy is like they live around or closer to the suburbs. Why? Because by default, we are on earth to survive. We are on earth to eat. And unless you have food, you can't have energy. So this man who engages into polygamy knows that even I don't have physical cash, I have plots of land. I can plant corn. I can plant plantain. And we are going to eat. Nowadays, it is going to be difficult for a young boy. How? Because the economy, it depends on job. So all these things are interwoven, a kind of ripple effect. I'll stop there for now. Let's Chef Dawa take it, please.
All right. Chef, that way, is your connection okay?
You guys need to let me know if you're hearing me.
Even when you were asking the last time, we could hear you, but you couldn't hear us. But we are hearing you now.
Oh, okay, so I want to talk from this point of view. Polygamy could be likened to a gun, right?
Yeah.
It depends on the user because gun on its own will never kill anyone, right? So
Mhm.
people use gun to kill people. So it's actually people who kill. Now, like one person is saying in the comment section that back then there wasn't competition. Yeah, that's right. Because we used to walk with the spirit of Chemti. Yeah, that's Kenyan for Ubuntu, the spirit of togetherness, wherein we saw brothers and sisters in every
Our beautiful network from the beautiful place where we're from. That's how it
Okay.
instead
is.
of
Okay, so before he joined us again, he was talking about the spirit of Njemti. Njemti Ubuntu, which means
guys can
togetherness.
yeah, can you hear me, guys?
We
We
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
We can hear you, Chef.
Yeah, so given the void today, because the first place they started was through our educational system. They made us to become competitors. Yeah, there's someone reading, cramming extremely hard to become first, like to take the first position in the class. One thing I noticed about the Chinese English back then in China, they don't do that. You don't even get to repeat a class, or they don't know what if you're failing or not. They just know you're moving from one level to another. So you see, they're actually working like cooperators. They are cooperating. They are not competing. So that competition has been built in the system from the beginning.
Can you? I think his network is dealing with him. So
It's horrible.
Yeah.
okay, so let me proceed. Let me proceed from where it ended. So he was trying to talk about uh we were operating as one, and some people in the comment section they are like
Oh,
there was no
network.
they are like there was
Respect
competition.
yourself.
They are like there was competition. There was no competition by then. Now there is competition. The reason why there was competition, it was no competition by then, and there's competition now, is because somebody came and introduced a poison into the ecosystem. Somebody came and said, somebody came. Africa was not like, if you read African history before the scramble, if you read African history, even before slavery and slave trade, you will discover that somebody came, immediately somebody came in,
Things
going
change.
war. Yes, what we're talking about. Somebody came and
Yeah.
said, Do you do you know that it is not supposed to be so? Do
The
you know you are
Serpentine
supposed
strategy.
Do you know you are supposed to fight?
Yeah.
Do you know that you are not supposed to be answerable to your husband? Do you know there's supposed to be gender equality? Do you know that? So stop this thing and go and fight your husband. Do you know that anything that a woman does, you too must do it? Somebody came and introduced it because the person understood that the first stage of settlement is a family. And if I can put war in the family, the family man will not go to his office. The family man will not go to the farm. So I will have time to enter and loot whatever thing I can loot. There must be war for somebody to come and say, I'm settling the war and taking credit. This was not how it was. How do you explain the fact that in the past, a man will have two, three wives? He has the resources to take care of them, which means resources means he has the physical energy to withstand every shock that comes in the family. He provides for all the children. He provides for all the wives. But and then he can stay long. But today, a man has one wife, but he is unable to control that one wife. How do you explain
I'm
this thing?
telling you.
Because
I'm,
there's a indoctrination. A certain education was introduced. This education that was introduced went now to truncate the reasoning of this particular woman. These are facts. If you have to go and read books like Things Fall Apart, read books like Arrow of God. In Things Fall Apart, this is a book that was published in 1958. In Things Fall Apart, the author said, in the African context, a man is successful or a man is prosperous if he can have the ability to control his family, that is children and wife. And then in brackets, he said, most especially his women. In that same author, in another book published in 1964, Out of God, he said, in those days when women are working together, they dress in fine ornaments, they dress in powerful and expensive regalias, according to the wealth of their husbands. But today, a man, a boy will impregnate a girl. The first thing he's doing is he's running. Why do you think this man wants to run? Because he doesn't have the necessary finance, he doesn't have the power, he doesn't have the resources to shoulder the responsibility that come with having one woman. So why should you go into two women when you cannot even take care of one woman? So what we are trying to say is people are saying that those were things of the past. What I'm saying is we don't modernize truth. We don't say because America is not practicing it, it is not true. Okay, today they are introducing all these same-sex marriages, and they are forcing it into people.
Rainbow, Rainbow.
They are introducing it, and they are forcing it into people. So many people, some people are going to be accepting it because it's being practiced in America, because it's a new concept. You who is watching me, that is homosexuality in your language, in your dialect. There
On a
are words
serious
that
note,
there are words that did not exist in the days of our ancestors because the practice was not there. So most of the times, I don't know how people interpret these things. The point is, you as a man who is getting into polygamy, are you sure you're going to apply justice?
Just like
Are you sure you
polygamy.
have the
Not
necessary
there.
resources? Are you sure you are going to make sure that you take care of everybody in the family? Are you sure? If you are sure, how do you entail to get to? That's why most of the times I tell people, somebody tells you that the Bible forbids, polygamy. And I ask a question: how many wives did Abraham had? How many wives? They'll tell you that was Old Testament. And most of the times, when we want to speak the truth, let us not attach emotions. Let us
yeah,
put in
yeah,
more of
I'm with you.
understanding and apply our natural conscience. Truth is not there to come and accommodate your happiness. No. These are things that you have to process it to understand. You have to understand the energy. What is the result there? What is the meaning? What Africa is communalism. Communalism is a situation where men see themselves as one. They are together. I have lived in a typical rural area. I remember there are some times when if a man says, I want to have a house today, he mobilizes everybody in the house, in the village, and they build him that house that same day. Our parents got married in the ages of 2022, and they gave birth to some of us. What happened that now we cannot even get married at 25, 27? Because somebody came and introduced a certain different system, and everybody is not pursuing what's supposed to change his situation. Everybody is pursuing a situation where you just have to feed. The education we have in Africa is just to remind us the education we have, it is not used to solve our own problems. But if you go to places like the United States, their education is giving them what they want. If you go to places like China, the education is giving them what. Why is that in Africa, everything that we have, we must copy what it is from the other side. What is the position of the African ancestor in this particular situation? What is his reasoning? Why did he introduce it? Look at Ndwala. See how many girls are there into prostitution. Because somebody came and made the situation in such a way that somebody has to be a beggar. In the
Yeah,
past, we never had these things. Our mothers, they got married at 18 years and they were fine. Right up till now, they are still there. They are bringing up in a fear. of natural conscience. So nowadays, you see a young girl, what she's fighting the man is to make sure that the man doesn't get married to another woman. And then you ask yourself the reason. What is the reason? Because the woman is greedy. I will explain. A woman lives on emotions. A woman lives on emotion. What she doesn't want is she knows that since this man doesn't have the little he has, let me have it all to myself. That is why when you see people like the Ned Nwoko, the man in Nigeria.
Yeah, Regina Daniel husband.
Okay, he is married. He doesn't have one woman. He has 2, 3 women. He has the resource. He has
Yeah,
the necessary power. He can feed 5, 10 women at the same time. You cannot go to go and compare your situation with this particular man because you don't have the resources. So you don't get into a particular war if you have not armed yourself. In the
all right.
past, our parents armed themselves.
Yeah,
Our parents armed themselves. How did they arm themselves? When the white man came, he came and found our ancestors in a situation where everybody was producing his own food. A man
yeah,
that cannot produce his own food is a slave to another man. Today in Africa, everything that we consume is coming from somebody. I'm saying everything that we consume is coming from somebody. When these guys came, they first and foremost introduced a situation where we have to be dependent on them. How? They started by, first and foremost, the idea of farming has been
yeah,
relinquished to the bush. It has been pushed at the side. The idea
yeah.
of farming has been pushed to the side. Why do I say so? Nowadays, or maybe in the days we were going to school when I was secondary school, they want to give you any punishment. They tell you to go and clean or clear a portion of land. Now, when you are clearing this portion of land, the understanding they are putting into your mind is that
Punish.
anybody who commits this particular act is going to go and clear the farm. So the farm is like a punishment. How can a farm be a punishment? How many people will be boastful to say, "Oh,
I'm a
all these
farmer.
things I'm making is coming from"? Not everybody is happy with going to the farm. Why? Because everybody wants to be in the office. But in this,
Yeah,
there is the introduction of genetically modified organisms or GMOs. Why is it that
yeah.
you people want to control the production of food? Because they understand that the person who produces food can feed
Very
everybody,
powerful.
and that person is going to be dependent upon. So our
Yeah,
ancestors in that time, they planted everything. They had everything. So they were not hungry. They can
yeah,
take at 1 or 2, 3, 10 women they can take as long as they can take care of. If you
yeah,
read this same book I'm telling you about, these things fall apart. There is
yeah,
a man there called Okonkwo. Okonkwo was the son to Unoka.
yeah,
Unoka was a weak man. Unoka
yeah,
was not a strong person. So
yeah,
Okonkwo grew up to discover that this this his father was not respected in society. And the reason
yeah,
why he was not respected in society is because he was poor. He was a weak man. And because of that, he could not even control his home, even get
yeah.
up to 2 wives. He could not even get a band of yam. So he was living based on borrowing. So
Yes.
Okonkwo grew up to discover that, oh, it means that I cannot live like my father. I have to strive. This is came from the home of a poor man. He started by borrowing yams. He borrowed yam seedlings and started planting.
Yeah.
And before you know it, Okonkwo became so rich. He had so many children. He had wives. And he had to institute justice and administration in his family. And this man was successful. I don't know where Africans are coming with this particular concept, and some put it in their subconscious that a man getting married to 2 women is the bad thing. I don't know where they are coming from with this particular concept. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Now, I want to come in at one point. You have said some very key. I'm sort of like you there.
I'm getting you,
All right.
brother.
God will have said that way. Now, you have said some very key things which I want to highlight. The first is the fact that in those days we had our forefathers getting married to many wives, and they could they could live in a harmonious way, in harmony. But today we are having a man with one woman who cannot even control that one. It's query. The next thing you talked about was on agriculture. I want to highlight an example here. Now, this is an aunt who who actually does plantain business. You see, she does plantain business. She has a good turnover. She took the plantain business and sponsored all of her children. They went to school. And when she does her plantain business, man, she does it so well. But guess what? This plantain business is actually giving money, but the children that went to school, they see it as punishment. And now these children that went to school have had degree, masters, no job, they are staying home and living on the plantain business, but they can't do the plantain business because they see it as a valueless kind of business. This is
Something
to
that
tie
useless,
in line
right?
with what you are saying, because we have been sold a very big lie. We have been sold a very, very big lie. That is starting by disconnecting us from the root agriculture.
Mm.
The,
Mr. Wincom, Mr. Wincom,
yeah,
let me just quickly dive in a little bit there.
yeah,
Still on that concept, my father, my father is a teacher. My father is a teacher. He did a little bit of politics at a certain level, but
yeah,
originally he's a teacher. So it came to a point when my father said he want to change his ID card, the profession on his ID card, he want to change it. I said, why? He says on his ID card, he wants to put it farming, that his profession is farming. I said, why? He said, because he is getting more on farming than on his salary. Then I started pondering on the statement this man was saying, and I discovered it was true. I discovered that if you have the ability to produce your own crop and sell your own crop, you have command of this particular crop. You are a rich man. But if you are
yeah,
depending on somebody, go and check the statistics. How many rich people are coming from people that work for salary? So what you are
yeah,
saying is true. Our
yeah.
system has made it in such a way that we look at certain particular professions as degrading,
Which
and
is
we
the
look at
actual
other
thing.
positions as elevating. Nowadays, it is better for you to say, I am an economist, I am a lawyer, I am a doctor. My
Doctor.
question is, if you don't eat food, can you go to your office? We need to survive. The
Yeah,
The
only
most
the
important
only
thing.
man that can cause you to submit on the ground is the man that controls your stomach. And this is the
yeah,
power where these our ancestors had to produce their own food and marry many wives. They
yeah,
had the power to produce a lot of food and marry many wives. If you take, for example, in the days of the Nigerian Biafra War,
yeah,
when the war was heated between Ojuku Odemengu and
yeah,
Yakubu Gowon, Yakubu
yeah,
Gowon discovered for me to win this war, I have to make sure that I put a barricade from food that is coming from the north, and I put a barricade from food that is coming from Cameroon. When these people cannot even have food, they cannot have medical assistance, they will submit. So
yeah,
Ojuku understood that food, and at that particular time, a man who could not produce his food, obviously the wife is going to hold him, that you are not leaving this house today until you give me food. So a man who can produce his food will say, okay, take. And the people that could not produce their food, they were into a certain dungeon. So today, if we are discussing about this particular facts, let us look at the situation. How were our ancestors dealing with this situation? What was
yeah,
their wisdom? And how are we dealing with the situation now? And what's our wisdom? What can we modify? What can we throw off? This is how people get awareness. This is what comes in with
yeah,
emancipation.
yes,
Emancipation doesn't mean you eliminate. Emancipation doesn't mean you destroy. Emancipation means you modify, you come to a reason, and you understand that something is wrong somewhere. We have to correct it. How
yeah,
are we correcting this particular aspect? We just condemn, oh, polygamy is wrong. No, polygamy is not
yes,
wrong per se. The act of practicing polygamy in a way that you don't have the resources, that is what is wrong. That
yeah,
is what is wrong. So we
yeah,
Africans, we ladies, I'm talking to ladies now. I'm talking to ladies. If you carry out a vox pop, if you carry out a vox pop, you will discover that the man that gets into having a side chick, the reason why he cannot bring this side chick home is because he does not have the resources to take care of this particular these two cases. So he prefers that let this one be that way. And the
Yeah.
reason why this man cannot also bring this particular woman home is because the man cannot withstand truth. Because for you to withstand truth, you must have soundness of reasoning, soundness of knowledge, soundness of understanding. And
Yeah.
you have to have pure intentions. If your intentions are not pure in all this, if you cannot apply justice, in the past, our ancestors had justice. They will not
Yeah.
apply emotion, they will apply reasoning, they will apply conscience. They will make sure as they are doing for A, they are doing for B. So there is not going to be any jealousy. If you want to be jealous, you are now somebody who it's like you are joking. That is how the marriage institution was in Africa. It was not for everybody. It was for people that can have the power. There was no infidelity at that time. If you get into infidelity, once upon a time there was a deity in your village. If you sleep with somebody's woman, you are going to get punished.
Hey. Yes.
Today, when I speak about these things, I have a certain right, a certain indignation because I know what I'm talking about. If
Yeah.
you commit this evil act in the past, you will not go scot free. But today, a man will happily get into a relationship with a woman, knowing that this woman is married, and they're still going to the same place to go and commit his sins to God. The Bible God. No. In the past, it was not like that. Our ancestors prepared a trackway where every girl understood his boundaries. The universe
Yeah.
has produced us a situation where many girls are coming in. What do we do with these girls? Do we keep on leaving them outside as prostitutes and causing havoc? Who are those patronizing these young ladies? They are still married men who are patronizing these young ladies. So why don't you bring this girl to the house? Bring this girl to the house. Take care of this girl. Administer what is called justice on her. Take care of her and build your family. In the days of slave trades, slave trade
Yeah.
hit Africa for close to about 400 years. What happened? If these ancestors did not have multiple women and had so many children, where were they having people to sell to the West? We should not look at a particular act because one person has gone into it and it did not succeed. Why did the man not succeed? Human beings don't want to accept the truth. They want to track things, and that's where our problem is. I will stop there for now. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Okay. Now let me just highlight on one thing again, and then why we trade to Chef the Way. Chef the Way really has a lot to talk on this, but the network is very interesting. I just pray it's
That's
balanced now.
that's not the
Now
more.
you made mention of something like this. Now the key problem, if you understand very well, has been miseducation. We have been misoriented to begin to see things in the wrong direction. We claim that polygamy is a problem. Why do monogamous marriages still have issues? That's where the problem comes from. And in those days, those people, like our parents stayed with their numerous wives and they were happy. Today, I still know a woman that is married to her husband. The man has 3 wives, and those 3 women are still with him, and they know that there are 3 women and they are living peacefully. I know the family like I am close to that family. They are practicing polygamy and they are good. In fact, as we speak now, the man is in the US right now with one of the wives. You understand? So those are the kind of things. We shouldn't always just bully something and just say it's wrong because somebody says it's wrong. We shouldn't do that. And you that have been empowered, a man can't even sit with one woman today because of the kind of ideologies that they carry. Why are people not getting married again? Why are young men not getting married again? Why are the women getting old and old and old? Why is the rate of divorce quite increasing? We have misplaced our values. We have been miseducated and we have accepted the lies that they told us without even questioning it, without even looking critically into what they are doing, because there's a hidden agenda which we are not seeing. And the agenda has eaten us so deep to the extent that a lot of Africans have lost their Africanity. We have lost our Africanity. We feel those fair people are actually superior based on the jargon they have taught us, which is very, very trashy. Somebody will not leave a different place and come and start telling you how to live your life in your own place. In a house, some people don't drink water at a certain time. In a certain house, some people don't do certain things. So you cannot leave your own house and go and detect what other people do in their own houses and they begin to listen to you. That is a simple thing that we have done. You see? So these are certain things that before talking that something is good or bad, try to understand what is good and bad, what is the thing first of all, and how good or how bad that thing is. Because we are caught up in this situation where, if you look at the comment section, oh, polygamy has done this, oh, there is jealousy, oh, the women are fighting. I'm just reading the comments while you were talking. I kept on reading the comments. Oh, there's jealousy. Oh, I cannot share my man. Oh, this and that and this and that and this and that and this and that. And if you look at it, all of it is what we have been programmed to say. In monogamous homes, is there no jealousy? In monogamous homes, do brothers not go up and arrange? There are many women that you see. You come to houses, especially in places like Yaoundé. Landlady. Who are the papa there? They don't arrange it. They arrange it. So it's not even the polygamy that's the problem. It is the selfishness of our hearts. And they start by killing some of the things that we had that was a solution to certain problems, like the alphabet people and the prostitution that we're talking about. Everywhere in they keep, sometimes you see police ready to come and carry these girls. After the next day, after a few hours, you see come and stand by the road. Prostitution everywhere. They have been just
Mr. Wake up. Let me just ask this question. And for the people that are listening, they should drop their response down. We all know that Africa is suffering. Africa happens to be one of the poorest continents in terms of in face value.
Yeah.
Why? The reason is because Africa was not poor, and Africa is not poor in resources. The reason is because somebody has come with weeds into the ecosystem. Now he distorted the trend of events. And then because of that, there is going to be excessive suffering. Everything, this life is recorded. So it's going to come back to us in the next 10 years, and we should have the ability to defend it. What I'm saying is, everything in Africa needs formatting. Everything. The education should reflect our standard. The marriage system should reflect our standard. Somebody is asking in the comment section, is therefore meaning that kind of like supporting polygamy? There is something I always stand for, the truth. If supporting the truth is what means to you supporting polygamy, then that is it. I will not tell lies or deviate from the original plan of our. Instead, if my father said, this is how we have to do it, I have to meander myself and get into the wisdom and reasoning of my father to ask, why did my father say this thing is supposed to be so? Why can it not be so? Because the reason why we are practicing monogamy and accepting with monogamy now is because somebody came and introduced that this one is coming from Satan and this one is coming from God. This was not the case. In the past, we had our parents that got married to one wife because they wanted to get married to one wife. That is right. We had men that got married to 3, 4 wives because they had the resources and they wanted to get married to 3, 4 wives. Why is it that now somebody cannot get married to 2 wives? You don't have resources. You want to go and get married to 2 wives. But they say, no, don't get married to 2 wives. You go and have a side chick. If you cannot practice polygamy to the fullest and the honesty of it, don't get into infidelity. That's the idea of side chick. Don't involve 2 sins on you.
Now, to be very frank, a lot of you are saying monogamy. Even the ones that are saying publicly, I am married, I'm monogamy. A lot of those people are saying it because they want to get the mass. Those people that are married, a lot of them are they are flirts. A lot of them, by the nature of the different businesses I do, we meet people, and some of the businesses are even patronized by these people that are coming to cheat. So now, let me just hand over to Chef Dawei. Chef Dawei was giving us a very beautiful analysis. So I just pray the network is a little bit steady now. Chef Dawei, are you there? Chef Dawei, are you there?
Chef Dawei, come to us. Your network is, I don't understand.
The network needs some serious beating. So this is a problem, and this what I'm looking at. We will teach ourselves to accept lies that we cannot even practice. Let it be that a man is actually choosing to be monogamous because it is his
I
choice.
don't know. Me self, I
Polygamy
need
is
to
bad.
understand.
Now, Chef Dawe, are you there? Chef Dawe, can you hear?
Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah, we
We
can
can
hear.
hear you. It should be a net, your microphone or your mic. Sometimes you
No,
have
no, no.
to.
It's a network. It's a network actually because I see it rotating. I see it rotating. It's a network. You see, the network from the location is not really the best. Now we see a lot of people in the comment section, especially women, in polygamy is bad. Who taught us that polygamy is bad? And the person was standing on what grounds, on what basis? You will not just come and impose some things on some people and begin to format our brains to say that it is a bad thing. On what grounds? We are living from the system which our forefathers were doing. And finally, we are even coming back to the system without even knowing. These people had lasting marriages, they had happy couples, they had. Why do we feel that the mothers were enjoying? You look at the comment section, you say, yeah, they were enjoying. Who told you that they were enjoying? They were living happily. They were living happily. The few that were enjoying have a normal child like any other marriage system. There's no perfect marriage. You see? Now, when you begin to say they were enjoying, because we are doing everything possible to justify
Welcome.
the fact that it is a bad
Welcome. You
thing.
hear
Now, Chef
me?
Dawei. Yeah, Chef Dawei, we can hear you. Are you there? Chef Dawei.
Yes.
All right, please.
Is it stable now? Is it
Yeah,
stable now? Let me
it's okay
quickly.
now. You have the floor, please. Now that it's stable, it's good. You speak out what you have to
Yes,
tell us.
I'll go straight to. Yes, I'll go straight. I'll go straight to the parable of the wheat and tares. And who
Yes.
knows that parable from the Bible?
The parable.
Of the wheat and tares.
Yeah,
Tares.
sure. I
Tares.
know the parable. Let them grow together at the day of the
Yes,
harvest.
that the kingdom of God, which is Africa, is like a field that someone planted good seed. That's
Mhm.
us Africans planted in this. Then an enemy came while he was sleeping and planted the weeds and planted the
Yeah.
weeds. So if you look at that, when you plant corn, you plant things like beans and grass.
Yeah. Chef Dawa, I can hear you. Oh, I just hope the network has not started again.
Yeah, through the grass they will do now, so they will hinder the growth of the crops and where you plant them. That
Yeah.
parable, it was a very smart parable coming from our true Savior. Yes, he was using that to make the difference between us humans and the reptiles. Because when he was speaking, they always tell us about the kingdom of God. So those people then, the people he was actually addressing, they are thinking like a lot of us today. When they go
Yeah.
to church, they are thinking like the kingdom of God is some imaginary heaven that they have to fly to someday. So he was there at that point to let them know this is already the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is at hand. This is the kingdom of God. So he went as far as using the parable of the wheat, the good seed, and the wheat, the bad seed. So this bad seed, they came to Africa, they had to corrupt everything and change the system. Now, through their educational system, because a lot of people think when we talk educational system, it's only about the classrooms, right? Education is just the learning process, the skills, the talent, everything you learn, like when you come from this world, that's part of education. That's
Yeah.
education. So, through their educational system, they taught us, you and I, they taught us a lot of me's. M, like I'm using now capital M and capital E and a little s, small s. They taught us a lot of me's for us to become self-aware. The same message from the Garden of Eden, like I said last week. They taught us to become self-aware, and we
Yeah.
became self-aware. It became only about us. So for us to get back to that point where we'll start looking at ourselves, we value melanin, we value our culture, we value the templates, the default templates left behind by our ancestors. We need to redefine family. We need to know the importance of marriage, why we get married in the first place. It's not about just a man and a woman. When you're getting married, you're getting married into a family. Or if I want to get married, I'm going to marry a family. I'm not going to marry a daughter or a girl or a woman. I'm going to get married into that family. Marriage is that process by which two or more families they become one, and
Yeah.
why the prescription for marriage is for two to become one, and that one in that equation. I think I've said this before on this platform. The one in that
Hold on now. Their network respect yourself.
two
Network respect.
individuals, right?
Yeah.
They are actually merging to form one, and that one in that equation is family. We
Yeah.
begin to understand family, and we know it's not about us, it's not about you, the woman, or me, the man. It's about the family. Then we'll think about the growth of the family.
Yeah.
As an individual, you can do as you please, but coming together in that holy matrimony, the aim or the prime interest at that point in time should be the family. And it's not only that, family is not only about you and the woman. It involves your parents, everyone involved. Like I said, family is supposed to be one. That's the one thing we have in that equation. One plus one equals to
One.
one. Two becoming one. Yes, that's actually African mathematics in some sense.
Yeah.
Irrespective of the number of children you have in that family is one. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter if those children are coming from the first wife, the second wife. Um, we do not know a lot about us, like me. It has to be my children. Na my pikin, that pikin, na my pikin. That's not the way it used to be. We do not. We never used to be so much egoistic like we are today. That we are thinking only about us. I think only me. I get to use personal pronouns. I, mine, my. And most men they'll get married.
Yeah.
The women are never included in their conversation. That house, you live with a woman for 20 years, you build a house and you'll still be calling it my
I have.
house. It's not us. It's not us. So that's what they taught us. They taught us a lot of myths, and it did not only affect the women, it affected the men as well. But now
Yeah.
on the side of women, it really had a lasting impact on them, because women, what they hear, what they like to hear sweet things, especially when you come and tell them you're emancipating them, you're setting them free, and at the end of the day, they don't get to ask the question, what or from whom am I being set free from? A lot of women who go with the women emancipation BS, that's for bullshit. Yeah. Um, a lot of them, you're single, you're on your own, and life is still beating you around.
Yeah.
How much has emancipation helped you? You see, you were instead removed from your natural position, your natural God-given position, and you were reduced to a slave. And not only that, they keep changing you every day. They keep increasing and setting new standard for beauty for you. Today, what is reigning today, like what every woman out there want, is that big nyash. And to have that big nyash, they'll go for Brazilian butt lift,
BBL.
BBL. They'll go for Brazilian butt lifting. BBL.
Another one is lips. The new one now is lips.
There's no end to what these serpents, these snakes, like I always call them, they'll do to change African women, because the target is not like they'll just generalize women, but we always need to make this distinction between an African woman and those snakes. They are not all humans. Humans, I always say this: humans have melanin. Plants, green plants have chlorophyll, and the sun is up there as the main energy source powering the earth. And the melanin is your solar panel to get direct solar energy, and the chlorophyll, through the process of photosynthesis, convert solar energy into chemical energy that we feed on. So humans have melanin, and aliens, they don't have melanin. Yes, those reptiles. So you will not compare. I hear some people saying change is the only constant thing in life. No, there's nothing new under this sun. Nothing is new. This very point that we are right now, Gen Z, Generation Z or Z, depending if you're speaking British or American, is actually the point where Noah, the floodic period, that's exactly the point Noah and Shem and those biblical figures were before the flood, where the message was, do as thou please, do as thou please. You've already been taught a lot of you. It's only about you. So now you're being permitted to do as you please, not as being dictated by nature or the community. That's not the way we used to live. It never used to be just about me. It used to be about us, a people. That's why our father, our creator, Tata Nzambe, is saying, if my people which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray. He's not talking about you, he's addressing the people. And now Jesus came with personal relationship, and that's the bedrock of divide and rule, divide and conquer, divide and enslave, divide and miseducate, divide and misinform. That's how they put everything together, and they came down to Africa. They know with the power of unity, with that communities, that communal strength and everything, they could not break Africa. So they started teaching us a lot of myths. And
Yeah.
now polygamy, which used to be a very good thing, if we want to talk about polygamy today, with this state of mind that we are, this state of mind that we've been miseducated, polygamy will be looked upon as a very good thing, because you go and keep rivals, you go and keep rivals and competitors in your home. And that's not what family used to be. So for us to get back to that point where our ancestors started, those natural and super wise people filled with wisdom, is for us to start changing the kind of education we give people out there. Yes. So like I said before, polygamy could be likened to a gun. That gun will be there on its own. It will never shoot anyone. It will never kill anyone. So now you have egoistic people. You have people who don't know how to tolerate, who don't know how to accommodate others. They come now with their anger issues. They are the ones who go out there and make polygamy look bad. And now, because there are many women, the secrets of monogamous family that stay under the roof, with polygamous family, they'll go out because on connaît que quand la femme est fâchée, elle met tout dehors. Mais now you have more than, you have one, two. Maybe in that monogamous home, you have just a wife, and you guys can manage to hide your problems, your issues under your roof. But with polygamy, the second wife might just run out and start shouting. and that's why today it's so pronounced like polygamy is the issue.
All right.
Like I polygamy, monogamy, those are all tax. Those are all tax that the serpents came with. If you go back to your native tongue, write and tell me, not don't try to describe it. Tell me the word in your language for polygamy and monogamy. Tell me those words. Look for those
All
words
right.
and tell me.
Now, Chef Daway, there is somebody that dropped a question here, and I'm sure because if you will notice something in the comment section, most of the ladies like, I know them for polygamy, I know them for polygamy, and I wouldn't blame them because if you are taught something from a very tender age on to where you get to maturity, for it to leave your brain, it's going to take some time of rethinking and deep reflection. This question
Uh,
says, that way, can you give us some of that?
Yeah.
So, some of us that don't believe polygamy, 5 advantages of it. Sort of like, you there?
yes, yes,
Now,
I can hear you.
yes,
All right, now, Chef Dawei has, Chef Dawei, please, you have the floor.
yeah, we've been charged. We've been charged by our Creator and Father to multiply and subdue the earth. We've been charged, and that can happen through the process of procreation. And for that to take place, we need a family. And men were equipped with the ability to produce billions of or millions or billions of stem cells per second. And so the first advantage of polygamy is to have that very strong family unit, which we know a family unit is the basic, but most important unit of the greater society. Without a very strong family unit, there is no society like what we have today. We have individuals, everyone living their lives the way they please, living like they please. So we don't have society today. That community, we don't have it. So with polygamy, you could raise that firm family. Yes. Then the next thing I want to talk about is the spirituality of the African man. The spirituality of the African man, or let me just say African spirituality. Um, for us to be conquered, first we had to go against the agreement or covenant we had with our father when we were set free from the first captivity in Egypt, because there are actually two captivities. The one that they spent time in Egypt as slaves before migrating down up into the promised land. And the second one, which is the second Exodus, is actually taking place right now. The second captivity took place 1619 when the first slave ship landed in Virginia port. Yeah, so that's the second captivity. So when he was taking us out from Egypt, we had a covenant with him. He gave us a lot of laws to live by. And for these serpents to colonize, enslave, and capture us to this extent, they had to first of all destroy our spirituality. And they know they could not get an African king easily like that without his woman. Just like what they did in Garden of Eden, they had to pass through Eve before they could get Adam out of his Garden of Eden. So
Yeah.
the same thing they did in Africa. And now, one thing about an African man, when a woman is actually a purifier, she absorbs negative energies throughout the month. The man goes out there and comes back with negative energy. The woman absorbs that energy. She purifies the energy, and once a month, she gets to pass them out through blood. That's the
Yeah.
impurity. So part of the laws that our father gave was that women were supposed to have 7 days of purification. 7 days of purification. It's still there in the Bible. You can check it out. It's still there in the Bible. That's why they'll lay emphasis today on the New Testament, that we have to forget about the Old. They know the Old Testament is the backbone of African spirituality. Those
Yeah.
laws that our father gave, those natural laws. So now, given that she has to go her purification for 7 days in order to channel out all the impurities and the negative energy she has absorbed, the man cannot go and start sleeping with other women. That would be him dispersing his energy and giving his essence to just giving it like that. So that's when it became imperative for African men to have more than one woman. This period that you're going through your purification, most like in when you get into villages, you still find families keeping this law today. They'll
Yeah.
have a special room for the daughters where they'll stay. They have their special chair where they sit down. And
Yeah.
those things that they touch, no man they touch them because they become unclean. All of those things they become unclean. So you is just like anything. Even till today, you go to market. If you want to buy egg, you want to buy alligator pepper, you want to buy sea salt. You don't buy these things from the hand of women who you go. They always advise you to go for the big mommy them to buy these things. This mommy the way they need to menstruate again, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Actually, oh, the network is interesting.
Yeah, the
Net.
network is actually very
was very
interesting.
much it was very much creative. Can you hear me, guys?
You can hear you, chef.
Yes. So it became I'm still the second reason, which is the spirituality of the African man. It became so she's actually going through her purification. You, as a man, an African king, you don't have to go out and start sleeping with prostitutes, with Gen Z bodies, with slave queens, and stuff like that. You simply go to the second wife. So, African spirituality. The first reason was family.
Yeah.
I think his network is really giving him an interesting moment.
I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
especially the second one. Which can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Please write on.
Yes. So, which has to do with my spirituality and the restoration of Africa, because things have to we pretty much have to reset things and get them back to the old or the original format in order for us to stand back as Africans, because we think because they pronounce us independent, give us independent days and stuff like that, national anthem, the national flags and stuff. We think we are independent. We are not. We are not. We are still slaves in the hands of these people. And you'll notice from 2020, a certain wind of change is blowing across the continent, and everything is getting back to the original point, which is point A. Like I said, nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is new under the sun. So this part of the driving force of civilization and stuff, civilization will only drive the world from point A to point Z. And
Yeah.
we're already there through civilization. But now at this point, everything is being resetted and we're coming back to point A. And getting back to point A, we have to go back to our roots and most especially our spirituality. So given that, it wasn't really compulsory for every man in Africa to get married to many wives. It was actually based on if you have that the resources to take care of two or more people or more, you go in for it. It wasn't for everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, for those of you saying, I think Victoria Shaviva says these 2 points don't clear or hold grounds to my question. Ask your question properly. Ask your question properly.
No,
So
she asked for five advantages of polygamy. It doesn't really have to be five, right? I'm talking about our spirituality and what led us to being the way we are today. So for us to be restored, we have to go back to our originality. For like right now, I closed my restaurant because I had a lot of women working with me. Now, based on my current realization, women, like the women I'll be working with, I'll pay them for
yeah,
30 days. I'll pay them for 30 days, but they are going to work only for 23 days.
yeah,
The moment they are flowing, they have to go home. They have 7 days, which is compulsory to do their cleansing before they come back to work. And that's what is happening in my space right now. So I cannot get to that point and I come and stay with you in the house. And because these days, some women even go as far as they receive their flow, they still want you knacking. That
there
time
is
we
actually
the
not.
day,
Me say the right yam. You see, some actually go as to the extent of knocking with the flow.
yeah.
So, yeah, so that's it.
So
I see another.
it's not advantage for man. That's a distinction you guys are still making. That's why I said we need another day to talk about the family unit
All
for
right.
people to
Okay.
really understand the concept of polygamy, not seeing it as evil. They need to understand an African family. Our family units, they were built differently and they are not like anything you see from the West. Is it now she's saying polygamy is only advantageous mostly for men.
Now, this one says, from your words, the advantages is to the men, although it doesn't make sense
The
because the man
family
can.
first. That's where the confusion is coming from, right? What they taught you, ego. It has to be you. It has to be women. It has to be men. It has to be men.
And now we.
Naturally, women, a woman is not supposed to knack biologically. She's not supposed to knack more than one man, and that's because she will retain the DNA of each and every man she has knacked with. All man with woman don't knack with, they retain that DNA, and that's a rating they call adultery or
Yeah,
adulteration, or to be adulterated, mixing a lot of sperms together,
yeah,
adulterated, because adultery is coming from the word adulteration. They become adulterated. So when they want to make you to be equal with a man, you can never stand and pee without splashing it on your leg. And there's no way on earth a man will incubate a baby in his womb for 9 months. It's not possible. So that comparison between a woman and a man, polygamy is more advantageous to a man. If you're looking at it from that perspective, it means the Western education really got hold of you. It will take a very long time for you to start thinking. You come off that horizon of selfishness, like you're thinking about you. You get to selflessness, and you start thinking the community, you're thinking society. And now at that level, you look at that family and you tell yourself, me, I can only give this family 2 children. But now this family is resourceful. Let me go get a second wife so that second wife can come and give 3 more children and let that family grow to 5.
Yeah.
If you cannot get to that point, and that's why from the get go, I'll tell every woman I'm polygamous. Yes, I'll use that word. I'll tell them I'm polygamous. I'll explain to them because two can definitely not work together unless they agree.
I agree. Yeah.
Two cannot work together unless they agree. So I tell you, I know we are coming from different realities. We are actually coming from different realities. I used to also be at that point where I used to look at polygamy to be evil. Yes, I'll look at just the families, the problems coming from families that we see. But us that we are coming from monogamous family, we had similar issues. We had similar issues. Brothers will wake up, they'll fight, they always have fight between brothers and brothers, sisters and sisters from the same womb. Jacob and Esau, they came out from the same womb. But they
Yeah.
fight all their life, even can reach to today. Their great grandkids, they are still
Yes, it's
fighting.
right.
So it's not about that tagging, it's about the tag. Polygamy is about people.
The
Learn,
individual.
grow, come to that communal kind of mindset of an African person. You start thinking, you have to start breaking fence. You start breaking fences, then you start building bridges. Link up the community. That's how it used to be. You lack Maggie, your neighbor, you want to cook a pot of soup, you lack Maggie, you lack oil, you take from neighbor, you don't complete. That's how we used to be, was about the community. But
Yeah.
gradually, they start teaching us to build prisons. And you stay in that boxes you call home or house, your gates, and you be your personal warder, taking care of yourself with no interaction from humans and nature.
Yeah.
That's where we are. We are in that box. Our brains have been formatted. That's why Bob
Yeah.
Marley will say, emancipate yourself
For
from
mental
mental
slavery.
slavery. That's the
Yeah.
first step. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. If you don't know what Ubuntu is, Ubuntu means I am because you are. And Ubuntu is the same word like Chemti, Mazimano, the song Mazimano sang. Chemti, togetherness.
All right.
Togetherness.
Okay.
Once
Uh,
you start to see a sister in every woman out there, once you start seeing a friend, once you start to see a friend in other women, once you start seeing a sister in other women, that's when you become more accommodating. That's where you become more loving. But you're out there, everyone is a competitor. And because you have that egoistic mindset, you still take it to the work front. And because of that mindset, you go and poison your colleague.
yeah.
That's not polygamy in your office. You go and poison your colleague who is doing better than you. You cannot be
Yeah.
happy for them for once. You go and
Yeah.
poison your colleague. It's about people. It's about the wickedness of man. It's not about a particular tact. They call
Kind of
it
marriage.
polygamy, monogamy, or polyandry. Polyandry is not even a thing to come to Africa. Like for no, it's not something that will come to That's
Yeah. Now because
that
now.
part of the reason being that a woman is not supposed to sleep with many men. That's why the Bible, even in the Bible that they carry, even the Bible that they carry, the only people who were stoned to death were women when they were caught in the act of adultery. Because you
Yeah.
become adulterated, you've mixed a lot of sperm, you give birth to a child, they'll go and do DNA test. The immediate sperm, that immediate sperm that will fertilize the egg, that father maybe will have like 98 point something percent. Where is the other remaining 0.3 point something percent going? All that men them way that woman don't knock her. nada DNA than that. You start hearing things like, for my family, no money the thief. For my family, no money be the do the kind thing. We not be getting
Yeah.
kind blood to our family. Also, you promote with that. Those are the
Go, yeah.
sins of the parents. Those are the sins
Yeah.
of the parents because from the man you get sexually transmitted demons you
Yeah.
send down to the children. But the woman, she will retain those DNAs in her and she will transfer them through her umbilical cord to the children.
All right. That's awesome. And thank you so much, Chef. I
Yeah.
don't know, sort of
Yeah,
like you're
many
trying
of
to
our fathers,
talk
that's why
about.
he said it wasn't a
Yes,
it wasn't
yes, I
a
can
close
hear.
rape. It was
I can hear you,
yeah, it
Wincom.
wasn't
Yes, you were
compulsory.
saying something.
You could
Now, Chef, that way, I don't know if your connection is stable. If not, at least, son of light, you can have the floor and let us know because you understand you had some interactions
can you
to
hear
drop.
me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Chef. That way, I don't know if you can
Or
hear
can you
me.
hear me?
I
Yes,
hear you.
we can hear you. You were trying to learn.
All right,
Okay,
no
I think
problem.
Yes, so
he's really
let me
having a
just take
tough
this
time with his network.
comment. Let me take this comment. Yeah, let me take this comment.
All right, Chef. Yeah, you can. Please read the comment. Let me highlight it.
Yeah, Mr.
To
Wincom, I
give
think
you
you were
an
mentioning
example,
something.
can you hear me, guys?
I can hear you.
We
I
can
can hear
hear
you.
you fine.
A woman can still be like the woman of old building community, not necessarily being in a polygamous marriage, sir. Yes, but what about when she's seeing her flow, the spirituality of a man? She's not even supposed to cook for him. Africa is being restored. You've seen everything happen in PGG and the rest that they are arrested. It's just the beginning. I've been saying this for the longest time. It's just the beginning. Everything that is standing like an idol, distracting Africans from knowing their father, will be taken out. And once Africans begin to know him, we'll go back to those laws. We'll go back to those laws. When you are flowing, you're not supposed to cook my food. You're not supposed
All
to cook
right.
my food. You need to cleanse yourself. And when I'm getting back into you, I'm coming to get blessings from a very pure source. You've gone back to the source, you've magnified that energy, and I'm coming. All I'm getting is that positive energy to be recharged. That's why a
Yeah.
woman was created after a man was done working and he was resting. It means he was tired. A woman is supposed to be that place he goes to rest and charges up his energy.
Awesome.
It's just beyond having children. Yes, but some families, some men, they want a lot of children. You can get 10 children from one woman. But that point when she's seeing her flow, should that man go out? Should he take, if we are to go back to Africa, because a lot of people want to say those olden days are long gone. No, they are not long gone. We are in this position where we are, that most of you in the comment section, you're praying for husbands, is because we actually distorted what used to work for us.
Yeah.
What
And
used to
this is
work.
what I have.
Yes, you pray for husbands these days. You go before you get to 18, the legal age that these serpents they gave, men don't really take advantage of you. Now you start buying abortion pills, you start taking contraceptives and other things not to get pregnant. And while you're taking all these things, who become rich? The serpents, through their pharmaceutical companies, they distorted your natural way of life and they turn you into a slave queen, into a Gen Z body. And these days now, you're working to look for a man with a big bowler to fill up the borehole that has been dug. because of this distortion. And no amount the size of bola will still not be enough. And now the serpents, they are ready. They're always ready with sex toys and dildos
To
and more,
arrange you.
taking you through what not, and it hasn't dawned on you that you need to go back to your roots, what used to work for you, that you come, you all you needed was that good family name. You only need that good family name. And from the time you're still in your mother's womb, the time you're coming out, one father will just come and betroth his son to you. By the time you're getting to that natural age when you start seeing your flow, you're already married. Now, these days, you need to fast and pray. You need to sow seed. You need to climb mountain. You need to buy anointing oil. And even with all of these things, you still go meet up some pastor who will take advantage for you.
See, Friday thing.
Yeah.
So now this is what I had to say. We are saying that the old ways are not good. We have these people were living in their ways.
No,
We
no,
grew up seeing
Stephanie, I
the
don't know if
people
you're a
there.
Christian. I don't know if you're a Christian. I'll look for that verse in the Bible. You check it out. Some Christians around here might have come across it, but it's there. It's there. The world is upgrading, sir. Yes, I like that, but I want to use this example to tell you, right? Nothing is new under the sun. The upgrade they are doing is something that has already happened before. And each point in time in history that we get to this point, right? The Father destroys that civilization. That's
Now, son of light, the network of chef that way is quite interesting. This is what I had to say.
Victoria. Let me just drop, please.
Okay,
Victoria,
drop.
yes. Um, um, are you hearing me? Nothing,
Five or
nothing
five,
is
I can hear
new,
you now.
nothing is new under the sun. Nothing. This same point is the same point Noah found himself, and that era was destroyed by the flood. We've had a flood of sand that created the Saharan desert. We've had flood of ice that created the Antarctica. That the fallen angels, Nephilims, they are buried under the Antarctica. So we've had several eras rather, and each time we get to the Gen Z, perhaps a lot of you don't know what Gen Z means. It means Generation Z, Generation Z. So the alphabet starts from A right up to Z. So when it gets to Z, it means the N. So we are actually at Generation Z, and that's why we have Gen Z baddies. They're doing what Gen Z baddies in the days of Noah did. They're doing the same things. We have
Actually,
we have Nephilims, we have fallen angels.
all right. The network of chef is quite interesting.
Nothing is hidden. We are going where is the great reset. The great reset, we are going back to point A. And there's nothing no one will do about this. We are going back to point A. We've upgraded, we've not really finalized everything with the upgrade. So now is the point to go back to point A where it all began. And it all started here in Africa. That's why everything is coming back to Africa. And all your idols and your superstars and all everything they did in the dark is being brought to the light. Just keep your ears on the ground. The next one will be TD Jakes. The next one will be Jay Z. You'll just be hearing, and it will lead all to one point. For that point where the distraction, where they can't give you, which is in entertainment. Entertainment is actually your greatest distraction because they'll make you look at celebrities who are low lives because celebrities are low lives. Then the person who is giving you life, farmers, those are the people you instead then you look at them say dirty people. People go they plan your food with love and everything. Then now you'll be looking at celebrities who will just go and bend down. They'll bend down walk, bend down walk. That bend down walk, for those who understand.
The bend down walk means that they bend down, then they walk with the other one where they give for the shit and shit down.
Yeah, the bend down walk. When they go, that's it. When we write these things, we put Auntie Felicia, they will come and tell us, leave people me the do as they do. Me they go tell the feds for America, now me they leave PGs me do as they do. Everything is in the dark is coming to light right now, and there's nothing anyone will do about that. Everything's being resetted. If you want to be on the right side, yes, get back to nature. Get back to nature. Will not be patronizing. You sit and be patronizing entertainers who are only there to consume your star, take your time. At the end of the day, you have nothing. You don't learn anything. Go back to nature. Go back to agriculture and give farmers their rightful place. May they start farm for una organically because GMO is part of the conditioning where they condition una system. Make una not fit think right because you eat genetic modified organisms. That's why we are coming up with Dawelizer. The fight is on many fronts, and if you think the idea about Dawelizer is coming from my brain, I don't get no sense. It's coming directly from nature, directly from our creator. Through the process of aerobic decomposition and fermentation, we are getting natural organic fertilizer and pesticides in Cameroon. We'll get them. So from many directions, the Father is speaking to a lot of us. You see, because don't go buy your co-wife Brazilian for some side, you say no, you're only buying a Peruvian. That all that kind of envy never be for ancestors because all man go grow it there. And the mothers they had that time to put their picking them in between their anzolo to transfer because 2 point the woman they transfer knowledge for a picking through the umbilical cord and biological information. Then that period where they put it for inzolo the platsy hair. But now saloon don't replace that. You take your daughter as tender and young as the day. You go put them for gossip parlors, a salon. They start to listen from every information where they 3 years. I can still remember a lot of them now. They play in my subconscious. Then imagine you're taking that little girl. You don't like. I even see some wicked mothers. They will start putting human hair Brazilian for that bikini hair for what age? So the only thing that this emancipation or civilization got you is money, because at the end of the day, your own humanity you're fighting against. You take that money, go buy oil, you destroy melanin. You take that money, you don't even have that time, that concentration to grow your own hair. You only use that money to go and buy Brazilian. And sometimes they even give beings. You give your sacredness to go buy hair where Indians or sacrifice at a temple. So tell me, we didn't have all of these back then. It's coming because we don't be enslaved mentally. It's like horse where they don't tie rope for a neck, then they just throw away the rope from ground. It just stay put. Things don't tie for some stick. Let's wake up, people. Wake up, people. Key ego. Yes, when you listen to that song, Bend Down Walk, yes, destroy ego. Ego is not good. But that bend down walk for that direction, not bend down walk for that.
For the other one. All right, thank you so much, Chef Dawe. It's been very, very insightful. Now, Son of Light, you can. I understand you had.
I just had to throw light on that, so we know everything. How far they don't go. How far?
No,
polygamy, entertainment, all not tools and what they use to control us. Yes, I like to say at the end of the day, we'll finish. When we are done having this conversation, I should get like 2, 3, or 4 Bantu queens who will tell me, Chef Dawe, we are ready for polygamy. That's it. At the end of the day, we'll end this without getting to that point. No, it's not taking us anywhere. Una get to wake up and not say no. Without Una, white man not ever capture black man. Right from Samson to Delilah. right? From when they talk serpent in the Garden of Eden, perhaps one of the things
I think he's really having a good time with his network.
Yeah, the network is really
okay,
arranging
but
him.
yes.
Okay, you want to say something before I
Yeah.
proceed?
So I beg, we not continue. I won't drop my points. Uh,
All right, Chef. Awesome. Okay, Son of Light,
wait,
you
move,
can
move,
use the floor.
wait, wait.
Yes, thank you so much, son of. Sorry, thank you so much, chef.
Yes.
I listen with you with so much keenness, and you know, I like I said from the beginning. Soon we're going to be stopping this particular live session, and I
Yeah,
was saying
Uh,
we we as Africans we have a culture, we have a lifestyle, we also have values, we have our own moral standings, we have all these things.
yeah,
So today our topic was polygamy versus infidelity or infidelity versus polygamy.
yeah,
In the course of us talking, there were some that were having contrary views from the way we are talking. Some have different interpretations. This is
yeah,
an educative session. So there's what is called ad hominem attacks. The fallacy of ad hominem, which means you trying to get into the understanding of the person or his personality instead of getting into his facts or criticizing his facts.
yeah,
And I see some comments down there, and I actually understand. And a while ago, Wincom was saying something that we've been captured in such a way that it is actually a problem. You know, the African child is in what I call a dungeon, and it is
yeah,
not easy to come out to break loose of that dungeon. That is
yeah,
why legendary Bob Marley said, emancipate yourself. If you are looking for true emancipation, you're not going to see that in school. You have
yeah,
to ask questions. You have to listen to your inner energy. You have to understand why things are being done. And today we were getting deeper into this concept of polygamy and infidelity. So we are getting closer to it, and I will not want somebody to misunderstood me. I stand for nothing but the truth. And the truth has no enemy. The truth has no friend. The truth is truth. The
yeah,
truth
that's it.
does not pamper emotions.
Actually.
The truth is not there because you are there. The truth is there because the truth is supreme. That is why in other societies, when somebody comes out with the truth, they use it and they grow.
yeah,
But in the African context, when somebody comes with the truth, they chastise this person. That's why most of the times I would tell people, if you want to grow, stick on the truth. It is true that in our context, in our culture, we had polygamy. We don't know about infidelity. Infidelity came or infidelity was there, it was punishable. Don't say you don't want to engage into polygamy. Sorry, don't say you don't want to engage into uh, polygamy because polygamy is bad. No, get into the understanding, know what it takes, know if you are ready. Do you have like a soldier who is going to war? Do you have all the ammunitions? Can you withstand? If you can withstand, good. If you can't withstand, keep it aside. So people should not misunderstand us. This is an educative session, and in an educative session, we listen to our inner energies. We tell nothing but the truth. We don't come
yeah,
to come and tell you. We don't come here to come and say, "Oh, because my girlfriend is here, I don't want to talk because she might." No, we are speaking the truth. That you know about it. We've established the points. We are African society, our ancestors engaged in that path, we approve that we are here
Yeah.
because they were there. Somebody should not come and tell you that it is wrong. It is wrong to them. It is not wrong to us. You can say it is not possible because you don't see the possibilities. But don't say it is wrong because some other person has come and said it is wrong. In Africa, we have everything that we are doing, it is all foreign. Our women nowadays are foreign. Everything is foreign about them. They don't even want to think. Even their own thinking, they don't want to put into reality. If you put into reality, you are local. Everything must be imported. We cannot live in a society where we are importing everything. Every ideology, it must come from the West. Everything must come to the West, from the West. Our
Yeah.
own things, we are not boastful of our standards. So these
Yeah.
things are affecting the marriage. I said a while ago that everything, and I still say it, everything, I can still say it again, everything in Africa needs formatting. Formatting means
All.
you get into it, you try to remove those things that are, preventing growth, and then you insert new ones. Our education needs formatting. Our marriage institution needs formatting. Today, we have all kinds of marriage counselors. We have all kinds of sex therapists. We have all kinds of coaches. Why? Our ancestors never had all these coaches. They never had all these things. But they have successful marriage lives. What was different in the past and what happened that we find ourselves now that somebody is going for marriage counseling? What are you counseling?
And the marriage will not even stay.
The
What are you
marriage will not still
counseling?
work.
So let us get into deeper reasoning, understand how things were before. See the importance, if there are importance, see the negativities, if there are negativities, remove the negativities, accept the positivities, and grow. That is how modern societies do their thing. Civilization means you advance it. You don't cancel everything. You people should stop condemning those who have engaged in that part of life. They are not all wrong. They might be wrong in their manner of application. And I will shock you now. A monogamous man with 3 children and a polygamous man with 10 children. A polygamous man with 10 children is more successful than a monogamous man with 3 children. Why? Because if they stand and they say they have to bulldoze this house down, it's going to take them 1 minute. A while ago, somebody was asking, what are the advantages of polygamy? But the question was directed to Chef Dawai. And I was just reflecting, I was just asking, do you know the position of the African man before the white man came? Do you understand why Africa is depending on the West and other people for everything? Was that how it was? Do you know why it is that way? We don't ask this kind of questions because somebody has conditioned our mind to believe that asking this kind of questions is even harming a certain supreme creator. Dear Africans, what I will tell you is the forbidden fruit in the African culture has to do with morality.
Yeah.
Anything you are doing, put into consideration how it is going to be interpreted by people outside of you. In the past, when a woman is going for marriage, when she's been married, when she has been married, she gets married to her man. Before she even gets married, what is important about her family or her lifestyle is her character. When she goes to that marriage, she's thinking about her sisters and need to behave in a moral way, in a way that it is respectful, so that my sisters will not have difficulties to get married because she understands that if she makes a positive remark in her marriage, they are going to see her sisters as people that are going to also do the same. But now they don't care about those kind of things. So we find ourselves in a situation where what was there is no longer correct now because somebody has said that it is olden days. How is it olden days? How? That people are doing the right thing. So now the right thing now is to do, like for example, just think about it. Look at the rate of which our society is being corrupted. Look at the number of girls that are into prostitution in there have been in our cities. Like I don't understand. How were these things before in the past? We never knew these things.
In
If
the past, yeah.
if you
Yeah, just fall.
if you if you understand this particular concept, think right as an African man, as an African lady, your intention is key. Somebody came and told you that the forbidden fruit is knowledge. Somebody came and told you the forbidden fruit is knowledge. You don't ask questions. Why is the forbidden fruit knowledge? In an African context, the forbidden fruit is not knowledge. We eat knowledge. As a matter of fact, if you don't have knowledge, you perish. In African context, the forbidden fruit is immorality. Immorality. That's why in the past, if you are so immoral, they look at you like you are out of society. You can be banished. So
Yeah.
let us get into understanding. Let us get into illumination. Let us try as much as possible that if anybody, is thinking of getting into polygamy or whatsoever, understand it. You are strong, but cancel infidelity. Infidelity, side chicks, all these things, and no. Put them aside,
Now,
please.
I, I have one question before we cut the curtain. Is polygamy some sort of remedy to infidelity?
Okay, I will answer you this question. You cannot, you cannot say that is polygamy some sort of infidelity because infidelity is wrong. Polygamy polygamy is a way of life, and it is, how can I put it? Let me use it to describe it. Polygamy is right.
Yes.
Polygamy is right from face value. Now, the person that makes it wrong is the person that gets into it when not ready. Now, you cannot say the reason why you are getting into polygamy is because you don't want to be, you want to avoid infidelity. No, infidelity is out of hand. Infidelity means you are into monogamy, you are into polygamy, but you are not respecting you still have an affair out of that particular union, that particular. It is not a remedy. It is a way of life of a particular people.
All
It
right.
is not a remedy.
All right. Now, sort of like, I will ask again. A lot of people, married people, are actually, especially those with who sign monogamy, are actually suffering from the problem of infidelity. Now, can we say that it is because they sign monogamy that the men are going outside, or the men are naturally like that?
When you say naturally, naturally means this particular organism cannot survive without that thing. That is the meaning of naturally. Naturally means this is how this man was calibrated. Now,
Yeah.
naturally now has to do with naturally is cultural specific. I will use the animal kingdom or the lower species because man is in the animal kingdom. So I will use the lower species of the animal kingdom to throw more light into this my analogy or hypothesis.
Yeah.
It is true that a lion must eat flesh.
Yeah.
Now, a lion must eat flesh. It is naturally true because a lion was calibrated this way. Now,
Yes.
if you come and take
Hello,
some
hello.
particular, if you come and take some particular lions and you
Yeah.
condition them and you tame them not to be eating flesh, you say let them
Yeah.
eat grass.
Yeah.
Any day that this lion is going to have the opportunity to eat that flesh, the lion is
You
going to eat that flesh.
yeah.
And I'm telling you
Now,
that somebody came and shifted the way of life. I mean, like I asked a question. In a village where there are 10 men and there are 20 girls,
women. Yeah.
how are these girls going to get married? There are 10 men, 20 girls.
If we go by today's standards, we're just telling them to be prostitutes. In other words.
Okay. Because 10 are going to get married to 10 men, so 10 are going to be without marriage. Now, do you want to tell me that this 10, because the emotion of a woman needing a man is a natural emotion? That is why our ancestors, by the grace of their wisdom, they started preparing the girl child. Before the child gets to 18 years, they prepare the child psychologically, spiritually, and mentally to be able to take care of a man. Because they know that the emotion of a woman needing a man is a natural emotion. Now you come in a society where there are 10 men and there are 20 women. According to today's standards, these 10 men are going to get married to 10 women. What becomes of those other 10 ladies? They are not going to get married.
Yeah.
Because somebody has said it is wrong. Even if there's another man there that has the physical, financial, spiritual, mental energy to take care of two. So if this man takes care of these two, this man is actually a bad man. But this other one man that has one woman, he doesn't take care of two. He goes behind to go and be doing all kinds of stuff with this. Is this particular man that's a good man? Is that what people are saying? Let us come to illumination. Let us reason these things out. Nature has given us more women than men. How do you remedy such situations? The foundation has been distorted. I don't know the meaning of prostitute in my language. It was not there.
Yeah.
So what I am saying is, if you are getting into whatever thing you are getting, make sure you are ready. The problem becomes if you are not well shielded and you are getting into it. And of course, there are so many men that are not going to be shielded because we are already in a situation where the system we are using is a foreign system. African powers and don't belong to Africans. We are not independent. We are being controlled. We are being controlled by some other people. So everything we are practicing is from them. But by natural default, when we see the truth, we know this is the truth. Are you ready to embrace the truth and embrace freedom, or you are ready to live as a slave and stay where you are? It's a question of individuality.
All right. Now, thank you so much. Let's take this comment. Steph, she says, "Big head boss, even men in polygamous marriages are still infidel. With the saying that I have the right because I signed that, so I can have many women. It's legal."
Okay, let me jump into this. If you are into polygamy means you recognize you get married to more than one woman.
Yeah.
You make it open. You clear the air. These are my women. These are my children. This is my person. Infidelity means after you being in this particular union, you still have an affair outside. This is against our custom. Hidden. It is either you accept it or you refuse it. You accept it or you refuse it. There are not two ways to it. So we are not talking about infidelity is completely wrong. Even in a business transaction, infidelity is wrong. In a marriage transaction, infidelity is wrong. Infidelity means you are not loyal to the other party according to what you said. Yeah. Let us come to this understanding.
All right, that's awesome. Thelma, I see you. Victoria Shaviva. All right. Okay, Chef Dawe, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I want to
sorry, Chef Dawe. Somebody's asking from the comment section. Somebody said, I asked a question. What is the difference between infidelity and adultery? Now, infidelity means you did not respect your own part of the covenant to the other party.
Yeah.
That is completely wrong. Now, adultery means you leave your particular marriage institution and get into another boundary or another institution and violate the terms of that particular institution. That's adultery. That is adultery. And we never had all these words because we did not see the possibility that the African ancestor never saw the possibility of these words coming up. That is why they structured their society. They prepared everything. They prepared the girl child. They prepared the male child. Everybody was We were living unity in diversity.
Organized structure.
Unity in diversity. Our ancestors will come together and they be in one part. They say when men gather to see the moon in a particular house, it's not because they cannot see the moon from their respective homes, but because they understand that seeing the moon together is what makes them one. So what we are trying to say is, before the coming of those who came and distorted affairs, there was a certain environment where everybody knew his boundary. There was gender segregation. A man knew this is where my limit ends. A woman knows this is where my limit ends. But nowadays, because of the kind of education they come and introduce, it's as if all those things are outdated. Now you ask them, how is it outdated? What makes it outdated? They cannot really give you tangible facts. This is what I'm talking about. What are the tangible facts you want to bring to the table that, like, let me ask a question. Let us look at the gain versus the benefits of how strangers came to our land. Then let us start from there and see who the true devil is. Because nowadays people think that the devil is in a certain book called the Bible. People think God is in a certain book called the Bible. These things are practical here. Somebody came and spoiled things. Go to the United Arab Emirates. Just imagine, go to the United Arab Emirates and tell somebody there, and tell a woman there that your man is supposed to have you alone. It doesn't mean that we don't have Muslims that are not into monogamy. The reason why they're into monogamy is because they cannot afford. Somebody was telling somebody a while ago. So I was talking to somebody. Somebody said that if men have the right to get married to many women, women also should have the right to get married to other men. And I asked the person, when you speak, how does it echo into your brain? Like, how do you feel it? And the person could not explain. So let us understand this thing. This is not emotions. When you are speaking the truth, you don't need emotions. That is why we are corrupt in Africa. Because somebody comes and is putting emotions. You commit a crime, somebody comes, he tells you, I'm going to give you 1 million for you to close your eye. You take the 1 million, you buy the person's idea, you are killing your emotions. But if you apply what is called conscience, natural conscience, and this natural conscience, you don't need a certain God to tell you. Because the God is inside of your conscience, it is inside your instincts. Nobody should come and tell you you don't have to steal. You know already I must not steal. Nobody should come and tell you I'm not supposed to sleep with a person's woman. You know already. But because you want to violate the terms of nature, you go and do it. Now, when nature comes with you with your sins, you say somebody has died for you, somebody has forgiven your sins. No, sir. You will suffer the consequences. That is why in pre-colonial Africa, we had what is called the fear of consequences. We were not fearing God. Because we know that whether we fear God or we don't fear God, God is God. We were fearing our consequences. I know for sure that if I violate the terms of this particular business, there is somebody seeing me somewhere that he is going to punish me. Then somebody came and introduced the concept of mercy and told you that whether you sin 700, let us not get a little bit deeper. There's a way we can keep on through. The energy has a way of coming. Somebody comes and tells you that you are going to sin 770 something times. They are going to forgive you. It's a lie. It is a lie.
Thank you, Son of Light. Thank you. We will. There's a special topic on the Bible story. I think this is where this question is also. Say this is the logical reasoning. With this explanation, I'm tempted to say that the stories in the Bible are not real, because a man was created out of a woman. So in each man there is a woman. Now,
let me answer that one.
Shift away, right now.
Yes. She's wrong to say in each man there is a woman. In each man there is a seed. There is a seed of a woman or women. That's why men come with XY chromosomes, and women just XX, right?
Yeah.
Those are the XY. Those are the seed. Our Father did a perfect job. What he took out of Adam was the seed, the rib, or how to put it in the Bible. In each man, there is a seed. So when a man meets with a woman, he sends out his biological materials. right? That's what produces, it gets to produce either a male or a female child, depending on which chromosome gets to her mitochondrial DNA. Yes. So now there's also this point I want to talk on, fidelity or infidelity. It's about principle. If you say you want to be faithful to a woman, definitely I'll end up cheating on her. If I
Yeah.
say I want to be faithful to myself, there are times I'll compromise, right? But
Yeah.
now when I realize I have someone superior, someone higher up there, my creator and father, I go strictly by his laws. And that's the person
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be faithful to. Now,
Yeah.
based on the natural laws, it is a sin for you to have sex with a woman if you've not seen her parents.
Yeah.
So if you know that and you uphold that as a principle, even in monogamy or in polygamy, there's no way you go about sleeping with women you've not paid their dowry or bride price. There'll be no
Yeah.
way, there will be no way you do that. So it's about principles, where you stand and
Yeah.
how much you know about your sexual energy. Because
Yeah.
why I said earlier, I'm talking now to Kono Stephanie. She didn't get it. Women are purifiers. They're actually the ones that they get to store our energy. They have the kind of energy they have is magnetic in nature. Yeah, they have
Yeah.
this magnetic kind of energy. They give form. They give form to everything. The energy is like that of the moon.
Yeah.
Gives form to everything. You give them sperm, they will transform and give form to that sperm and nurture it into a baby.
Yeah.
That's who they are, right? So they are different in different ways. We are not we don't share the same energies. So if I
Yeah.
want to, we are talking fidelity. Fidelity, I know my energy. I'm
Yeah.
faithful about not going to give my energy to demons. I'm
Yeah.
faithful on the fact that I know there are a lot of yes, men them out there where they use medicine, they put for gear that skin. Now
Yeah.
you go into that kind of a gear with your star. Your star is shining. They are absorbing all of that through those girls that they've put their things. So when we
Yeah.
are talking about these things, it's about your level of revelation and the horizon at which you find yourself. Yes, there are men who get into polygamy without necessarily knowing the importance of their sexual energy. Without knowing that you need a lot of these women to conserve your energy in them. You go out
Yeah.
there, maybe someone, there are a lot of evil people, a lot of spiritual things are happening. And what we fail to understand is the physical is being controlled by the spiritual. The physical is being controlled by the spiritual. So, and life is all about energy. Life is all
Yeah.
about energy. So, a man who is faithful, if he says he's faithful to a woman, there's another woman that will decode him, and that faithfulness will become unfaithfulness. If a man is faithful to himself, he might get drunk and he will compromise on that faithfulness. But if that faithfulness is coming from a higher ground, you're looking at a superior being, your
Yeah.
father who has put in place those laws, those natural laws, and you come to realization that they're actually for your good. There's no way, bro. I always use this. I'll use myself as an example. I used to be a serial knocker, a serial knocker.
Yeah.
One day without knocking. It almost sounded impossible for me. And sometimes we'll play truth or dare, and you end up sometimes you knock two or more girls. And those are things they allow these girls in the comment section where they deny polygamy, right? Truth or dare, when I play that truth or dare, sometimes you go very wide, you end up knocking like two or three of them for one place.
Yeah.
Those are the things they will go for, things that destroy. The one now where you go legally, you want to be clean, those demons will always be speaking in their mind that polygamy is wrong. Always be telling them things like that. You understand? So that period, I did not without knowing the importance of my sexual
Sexual energy.
energy. Just like Son
Yeah.
of Light, just like just like Son of Light put it, yeah, after we don't finish knack, we don't play 7 minutes in heaven, we don't play truth or dare, all of those games, we just run. We go say, no, I cleanse myself in the blood of Jesus. I wash myself clean with the blood of Jesus. I cover myself with, after that cleansing with the blood of Jesus, the next minute with some bottles of Jack Daniels, Hennessy, and stuff, truth or dare will play again. Then the next, after that,
Yeah.
you go wash yourself again in that blood. The practical thing I say, just take blood for anything, put for your white t-shirt, blood will stain. So at that point, I did not really have that strong principle. But coming back from 2020, where I started to know my creator and father in heaven directly, going back to his laws and seeing the life in them, seeing the importance of my sexual energy. I started being for position where I feel be 1 week and not that, and 1 month, then I'll fall back. But right now, I'm actually getting to 1 whole year where I never knock. I know how difficult this journey be, but it don't form me for multi-level where my principles and now be firm and solid. Firm and solid. That's why the other day I saw this girl, she was celebrating 2 years of not knocking. Some people did block her. I had to immediately share her on my timeline because I know
Yeah.
how difficult that journey has been for me, where you be for position. So okay, you can reach 1 year without knocking. So it's all about that principle. You getting to know the importance of your sexual energy. I don't get to know my sexual energy now. Okay, I'm not saying okay. I can stay with one woman who is 10 in one because there are women out there who are 10 in one. But these days, with Gen Z bodies, it's almost impossible to find such a woman. Where okay, you
Yeah.
compromise. He will go with you when she's flowing, he stays 7 days for your own side, clean herself. Yes, I'd already been at close to 1 year. This I've never knocked. 7 days no will kill me. But now you meet some girl where you need to obey none of all of those things. That's a possibility. That's when it becomes imperative. It becomes mandatory. Say no, I must get married to five. I must get married to five. Everybody there for a corner. If you want to put your human hair, you put your human hair. But if you know you're coming to my space, you remove those things. You remove all those your perversion, all those your evidence of adulteration. You remove them and keep them very far because my space is my sanctuary. You will not come there with hair coming from India, from another human, not even human, snaky hair, you come the enter from my space. So that's where you dey for your space, you dey comfortable, do as you like, how you want to do, but I know say no una dey five.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Son of Light, you there?
Yes, I am there, Mr. Wincom. I am there, the
All
five on
right.
five.
At this point, I think we can just cut the curtain. I am very, very, very exhausted. If you look at my face, so I don't know if you have some final words to shoot out before we finally pack our bags out of this live broadcast.
Okay, fine. Final words. Dear African man, for the foundation of spirituality. Dear African man, You are the foundation of spirituality.
Yes.
Spirituality does not involve you to exercise emotion. Spirituality demands that you apply more of your natural conscience and reasoning. If you think your thing is polygamy, understand that you're engaging yourself in a battle that not everybody goes and is successful. So you want to prepare your resources first. And the resources has to first of all come with what you have mentally, physically, spiritually, psychologically. There is one Greek philosopher by name Socrates. Socrates, at a particular time, had to see the god of wisdom, who is Orunmila, a Yoruba god of wisdom. When Orunmila met Socrates, he made a statement: "Man, comma, know thyself." If you know yourself and you know what works for you, stick to it. If you know yourself and you know what works for you, stick to it and maintain sincerity and truth. That is for the African man. And if you have to apply sincerity and truth, you will apply justice. You will apply all the positive things you have to apply, irrespective of how people take it. Today in Cameroon, we are suffering the Anglophone crisis. We are suffering because somebody, an individual, willfully did not act on the agreement of our ancestors by acting on one particular principle, and that was till now we are still fighting. Somebody did
Yeah.
not maintain truth. That is all. So if you don't maintain truth, there's what is going to be called a ripple effect. The consequences are going to be grievous. But if you maintain reasoning and truth, respecting things that were there and seeing the wisdom or the technology that was used by those people in that era to form it, and then check the excesses, see the good, the pros and cons, and see where you can bring them to this present generation, fine. That's to the African man. To the African woman, dear mother, dear sister, dear female, you are so precious. You are a fountain of glory. Understand where you belong, understand your role in society. Don't search for what is not there. Don't get into deeper, you want to get into what is not necessary. You have your role to play, your primary role in this particular cosmos is there for procreation. That is your role number one. Procreation. And you cannot procreate if you don't come under the umbrella of a man who has to apply or administer control over you. Control over you doesn't mean enslaving you. Control over you doesn't mean putting you in a deplorable situation. Control over you means trying to guide you in a right way, in a path where your glory is not going to be spilled off. So try as much as possible to understand where you belong, understand your functioning, and don't get into what is not there, and control your greed. And to all these other boys that are not yet, they just go about doing things.
Frying.
Whatever thing you have to do, but understand that everything you do, there's what is called the law of cause and effect. For every effect, there's a cause, and for every cause, there's an effect. Let nobody come and deceive you that because you've done this, as you've prayed and repented, this is what's going to happen to you. No. You instead have to guide your emotions not to get into problems. In the past, our ancestors lived by avoiding problems. They don't get into problems and they start to solve it. No, this was introduced to us. So try as much as possible to discipline yourself, understand your boundaries, and know that anything that you are doing will come after you. If it doesn't come after you now, it will come after you later. So let me not go too further. There are so many things I can say. I don't want to get into so many deeper things. The topic today was polygamy versus infidelity. Infidelity is wrong. Polygamy, it is what has been existing and is existing. You want to get into it? Is it right? Is it your thing? Are you armed? Are you ready? Are you using it as a tool to exploit others, or you're using it for a positive tool? Because life is all about energy, and energy can never be destroyed. Energy is only transformed from one form to another. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, son of light. Chef Dawei, do you have some final words before we draw the curtains?
Yes.
Chef
Procreate
Dawei,
density brings something on the table.
you have a fit applicant. She keeps insisting. This is Kono Stephanie.
Yeah. Follow Stephanie. Yeah, okay. Now when I
It's
talk
a
for
big
backside,
toast.
no, we end up backside. Yes.
All right.
Let me comment on this. Procreate density brings something on the table.
Yeah.
Somebody is not telling us something. That person who is not telling you something, not that white man, them, that's naked. Yes. So you don't even have to bring anything on the table. The table is there already, well made, with everything on it. You just need to manage. All you need to
Yeah.
do is to manage the resources on the table. Then you make sure everyone for family they okay. So now to the gent watching us out there, I want to tell you, don't get married because you want to stop fornication. If you do, you'll be changing the name to adultery. And to some of us who are so much interested in polygamy, don't get into polygamy because you want to avoid cheating.
Chef Dawei's network is interesting.
No, that won't happen. Get there when you understand. The first thing you need to do at this point where we find ourselves, with a lot of us just try 1 year without knocking first. Build that principle, build that force. If you can resist, then you are ready for anything. You become faithful even in polygamy. You become faithful in everything that you do. You learn how to become faithful to yourself. You learn how to become faithful to the people around you. And most importantly, you know the importance of your sexual energy. Your sexual energy will not just be anything, will not just be something you go out there giving to people for free. Yeah. Guys, are you hearing me?
5 on 5. I can hear you 5 on 5, Chef.
Yeah.
I can hear you. I can hear you very well.
If you can hear me, just indicate in the comments.
Yes. Go ahead. I can hear you very well. All right. The Apple Chef network is not the best,
Guys,
but
can you hear me? You want to hear indicate. Let me round up.
please, those of you, just indicate in the comment section. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Let's go. So
Yeah.
build your principles first. Build them, and stand on them before anything. No say no. You are not to knock any money picking without first seeing that papa. Go get that pa mimbo before you knock. For that point, even if you want to be monogamous, you will stay faithful to your woman because you don't really learn how to live without tuma, without knacking. Even if
Yeah.
you want to go for the polygamous level, you will not be one of those polygamous men. You still have wasting your energy like that. You know the importance of it. Then now to our ladies out there, I just want to tell you, or your queens, yes, if you be don't live under the influence of the Western education and you live anyhow where you get adulterated, mixing all kind of sperm in you, it's about time for you to take a U-turn. You take a U-turn. You ask, don't ask me, ask nature. Nature is speaking to us right now. Our Father is speaking to us through nature. Take back your crown. Take back your crown. Become the queens that you're supposed to be. Two things. Your womb is so sacred. Your womb is so sacred. It's a sacred place. That's what these wives will do everything to destroy it. It's so sacred. Yes. You make sure you keep yourself. If you're no longer a virgin, sexual virginity is out there for you. Yeah, you know, say no. Without you falling, your king cannot fall. So that's why you have to know you're like the moon. You reflect the energy of the sun and represent the sun during the night when places are dark, because the moon is not self-luminous like the sun. During the day, the sun dominates with excess of energy and stuff. But when the night time comes, the sun is nowhere to be found, but is being represented equally by the moon, reflecting the light from the sun and lighting up the earth. That's who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be pure. You're supposed to be pure. No leave American fool you with Brazilian, Peruvian, Malaysian, and all these hair. Your hair is your crown. It can be Jericho, it could be kinky, it could be body wave, it can be anything that your hair will get and so. And you can even made it twist it into dreads, make dreads out of it. Whichever style, not only your hair for the way they that hair where you fit turn them all style where you want them. That's your blessing. But they made it possible. Say no, you don't even have time for that. That time, no, the only time where you get that time for go open foot for find money. May they knock you, the you bunch me buy hair. But that time when you take a start draw your hair, you know me, I'm always blunt now. You know, I don't mince my words. I don't come here, sit here for 2 hours, 47 minutes. Then at the end of the day, I don't give you the John the Baptist vibe. Yes, you get to get a bit of the John the
Oh
Baptist
yes.
vibe. And the kind of vibe we make the cut John. I need to be blunt. I need to be straightforward. Yes, we must practice secondary virginity. And if you are not part of the natural woman group and you're watching us,
All right. Chef's network is not the best, but hopefully,
we are teaching them we are teaching them about polygamy and responsibility and stuff like that, preparing their minds. And very soon we'll also get another group for men, because we'll not just take our queens and be giving them to all
only
these
Jack and Jill.
honey boys who work. They cannot even control their zip. They be controlled by their trouser, that thing dangling in between their leg. That's what controls them. So we'll not give our queens to those kind of men. We'll make sure so everything they boams molemas. When I understand now. Okay, yes.
Eclair.
Yeah.
All right. Um. All right. Thank you so much, Chef. Thank you so much, Son of Light. I must say it was a very interesting one, and it was very insightful. In the course of all the conversation, a lot has been shared and a lot has been learned. This live video is always going to be on our platform, so you can always connect and listen keenly to every fact and every point that was raised. A big shout out to all of you who joined the live broadcast. Before I pack our back out of the studio, I want to say we have this laughter extravaganza night that is coming up. Oh la la, Laughter Extravaganza night, you will see here, you're going to see it. That's the night is coming up in the month of October in the nation's capital city of Yaoundé. It's going to be a
Yes.
night where there's going to be music, stand-up comedy challenge, parade, and lots more. So we are going to give you information on this night. This is the Laughter Extravaganza coming night. It's coming this October. Those of you who are actually looking for a place where you could have a wonderful moment of laughter to relax your brain, laughing is a therapy. This is the right platform for you. Those of you who want to actually see this happen in a grand style, you can come in as a sponsor and we will make this together. So the dates will be fixed and it shall be communicated on our platform. Those of you who are stand-up comedians, you want to shine, you're very much welcome. Those of you who are upcoming artists, you want to shine, you're very much welcome. And those of you who are willing to see these young talents grow, and with any way you can support them, you're equally welcome. You can actually hit the numbers on the flyer, and our team is going to respond to you. It's good to let you all know that this is going to be happening in Yaoundé, and it's going to be one of a lifetime kind of event. And hoping to hear from you and hoping to see you all, and let's make this a historic moment. At this point in time, it's been a very, very, very interesting conversation. And I must say, if we're cutting the curtain now, it's out of a very insightful time spent with you. And I must appreciate you all for being there up to this moment. And see you all again next week, Sunday, for another live broadcast whose topic we will announce in the course of the week. And I must say, big shout out to Son of Light. Big shout out to Chef that definitely you already know Chef that way. He always gives it and says it as it is.
Stephanie, you're from Obang.
Yeah. So at this point in time, we're going to say see you again next week and do have a wonderful and sweet night.
No, we are teaching them about life in general. I just had to lay a bit of emphasis on polygamy, not like we don't even talk polygamy that much, like once in a fortnight. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Join the
All
group
right.
and you understand it's not only about polygamy, it's life for all
Yeah, live. It's a very interesting group with very interesting people in it. So you join and you're going to love it. All right. See you all next week and do have a wonderful night.
Okay, good night, guys. Bye bye.